we gotta start. It is nice.
I'm recording. We can
Okay.
we can go ahead and make this the podcast.
Whoa,
I mean,
it's the podcast.
it's a very nice casual intro. It's our first podcast in like 3 weeks. Well, technically not first podcast in 3 weeks. Our first I hate saying the word
been
regular.
Like 2 months.
Regular
It has.
podcast. Regular sounds so.
Well, okay,
just
so
say like
It's absolutely batty how long it's been since our last podcast.
Shut up, Brad.
yeah, I agree.
Well, we went to E3. Our last show before that, we were all together. We talked a little bit about E3, and then we went to E3, and then we took a week off, and we got back from E3, and now we're back, and we've been playing. God damn it, Crispy! I'm watching you.
And before you
This is
watching you.
candy. This is a cough drop. This is medicine.
Okay. Anyways, my name's Nick Henderson. Brad Simons is here.
Yes, I am.
Nolan
Hello.
Hedstrom.
How's it going, everybody?
I missed you.
Thank you. I missed you too.
Crispy.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. It is my
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Nick.
Someone in the chat says Nolan's not dressed as Batman. That fucking... Even though you've done that joke before, it is still the best joke.
Well, the problem is I did it on a podcast, but I didn't realize we were shrunk down when it happened. So it was basically it made me look like I just kind of did something on my face and nothing changed. Yeah.
Oh, you mean where you had the...
Yeah.
That's one of the few clips I showed to Malia, which
one of the-
still unimpressed, but hey.
Thanks, Malia.
She almost appreciated
Dude,
it.
it's like my life goal to impress her. Like, I always come over and she's so quiet, and then she's like, hey.
One day you...
And I always feel like I'm just like, I'm not, like, we're Brad's friends that aren't even worthy. And always coming over to her house.
She's just shy.
I know.
okay?
One day we'll impress Malia. That's... She should be honored.
I'm
Like, that's
still
our-
working on it, Nick.
And Crispy's here. I haven't introduced Crispy yet. Hello,
Hey.
Crispy.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How are you?
I'm good. How was E3?
It was good. It was good.
It's good.
It was
It seemed like it was
Very.
pretty cool.
it was a pretty good E3, I'd say.
Yeah.
Besides E3, my biggest question is, Nick, why did you not wear the uniform tonight?
Yeah, you're out of
I don't
uniform.
know. Y'all coordinated on this without telling me. I don't even. These nerds are all wearing button-up navy blue T-shirts for some reason.
Mine's
These aren't t-shirts.
Yeah, mine's a dark
Yours is
navy
black?
blue. Yeah, his is a
kinda
a
gray.
faded black.
Well, I'll
yeah.
tell you what. On
Mine's
the feed, is,
definitely a classic navy blue, and these aren't t-shirts. They're more like sport shirts, I think you would call them.
sure.
This is exciting stuff, guys. How about that Batman?
Oh, do we really want to jump into Batman that fast?
Well, what else are we going to do? I can talk about her story.
I mean, Batman's on screen,
He is on screen.
so
All right. Well,
Batman.
We don't have to open... Oh, well, there...
yep.
Oh,
Batman.
It says it at
that's
the top,
Batman.
so we
There it
have
is.
to talk about
Now
Batman.
we have to talk about
Thanks,
Batman.
Chris
all right.
Davis.
So Batman Arkham Knight released just after we returned from E3,
Yep.
and we've all been playing
Most
it.
of us have been playing.
I,
No,
it.
I played a couple
Nolan's
hours.
played a little
Nolan
bit of it.
hates it.
Nolan's been packing. He's getting ready to move.
I'm moving, and so I haven't had really any time to play a game. Well, it's not that I'm moving. There's a whole lot more going on. I'm also going on vacation in a couple of weeks, so there's like everything's fucking piling on top at once.
Yeah.
And so this entire weekend, I didn't play a single fucking game.
Hey,
But apparently, we're talking about Batman.
let's open with that thing that we had warned
Why is it
everyone
starting in the
about.
middle of my
hey,
footage?
Hey,
Maybe he skips
hey,
ahead.
hey,
Yeah.
just a warning to everybody who's tuning in here and watching this live. There is going to be a small... kind of a big spoiler that happens very early on in the game involving the story. We have to bring this up now because you will probably see this in this video footage. So would someone like to explain it?
I would, or Crispy would. Crispy is our Batman expert. Why don't you go take it away?
Do you want me? Okay.
Well, just some
So-
warning here for
so-
people who don't want this spoiled.
As part of the basic setup of the game, Scarecrow is devising a plan to set off a chemical attack that's going to douse the eastern seaboard in his fear gas. And this is a new, more potent, like more devious strain of his fear toxin that he's ever created. It's super powerful. Batman, in trying to stop this plot, gets a huge dose of it, and he starts
Going batty.
hallucinating. Yeah.
Okay, now
starts
hold
losing
on.
his mind.
Before he continues, what he sees as a part of this hallucination is the one thing we are going to spoil.
The main manifestation of this.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's really cool. You put some explosives on and then blow them up. Anyway, so the main manifestation of his like exposure to the fear toxin is that he starts seeing the Joker everywhere.
And let's be
And the
honest, like, as
Joker-
much as that's a spoiler, it's also pretty obvious that in Rocksteady's final Arkham game, they weren't gonna just leave out like they've
like Joker's definitely still dead.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's definitely
But he's
still dead.
very much a part of the story.
In fact, I would say this is probably his best implementation into the series yet, even though he is dead, which is impressive.
it is.
Taking a step back real quick, I just wanted to say, talking about obvious things, because I was playing the game, and it's like, we have to find where Scarecrow is creating his toxin. Could he be at City Hall? Could he be at the chemical plant? Could he be... Is this like, really? This was a big fucking mystery where he's...
scary chemical plant.
Right? Like, why was that? Why did I have to take like 20 minutes to figure out that
it's Ace Chemical
Ace
Plant
Chemical
too. So
Plant,
which is where the Joker became the Joker, which and then that's where Batman gets dosed and starts seeing the Joker everywhere.
This is why we keep you around, Crispy. I completely forgot.
The only reason.
I completely
that's
forgot that
Every
that's
time
where...
there's a Batman game, I have something to contribute.
Finally.
Oh,
Crispy's time to shine.
But it's great. I mean, Mark Hamill's
by the
back.
way, I think I just killed that guy.
Yeah,
I
you
don't know
definitely killed that guy.
I don't know if you saw that.
He fell off like a 30-story building.
I basically just batarang that dude off the building.
There's so many things in this game where it's like, that guy's definitely dead.
Well, so let's talk about this Joker thing, because I think it's definitely the to me it's what's sort of keeping me really interested in the story, because not just because there's great Joker character moments, but because the implementation into the story of like kind of when he appears and out of nowhere he'll just show up in your view.
I shit you. I mean, I'm sure you've seen this before too. But like one of the craziest things for me is I was flying around. I was literally like high above the city, circling around, and I look down and I see someone standing on a rooftop, and I was like, "There's not really many dudes on the rooftop in this game." And I just kind of like floated down. I was like, "Holy shit, that's the Joker!" And I just flew down, and he started talking to me. Had a conversation on a rooftop. And I was just
as the story goes on, he becomes more frequent too. Like it gets to the point where like you open a door and he's there. I've had ones where he grapples to the edge of a building, and as Batman's flying up, like Joker just pops over the
that's what happened. So
and it's like, hey, what's going on?
So
and it,
Chris
scares
Davis
the shit out of you.
So Chris Davis started this footage like in the middle of it for some reason, but at the very beginning, I set out to record this footage for tonight, and I was like, I'm gonna try and avoid I'm gonna try and avoid any situations where I see the Joker.
It's impossible.
And I literally, I jump off a roof. I claw onto the roof, and I zip line up to it, and as soon as I hit the ledge, the fucking Joker's like in my face, and I was like, well, failed.
And that's really the best. I mean, that's I'm not much on story, but if story's implemented in a unique way, then it could be really interesting. And this is something that only a video game can do, because, and I also love how the Joker is often kind of not, you hear him sometimes and you're like, wait, where is he? And you kind of look around and he'll be like right behind you or kind of above you. It's just, it's not, the game doesn't direct you towards it. So that makes it so much like more surprising when he does show up. When on the top of a building.
It gets really I had a moment earlier today where I was doing a silent predator sequence, and
Nick, tighten this part.
He kept showing up while I was sneaking around, like trying to take out dudes. So it obviously wasn't like these locations where the game was funneling me to see the Joker. It was just really good at placing him in like organic locations for you to get those moments. It's really cool. If you told me before this game came out that he was going to be in it, and that this was the nature of his presence in the game, like this was the idea that they were rolling with, I would have been super worried.
I think a lot of people would have.
It sounds like a terrible idea, but the
which
way
is maybe
they
why they kept
implemented
it a secret. Because maybe they did some focus testing or something, and people were like, "Man."
Well, it was a huge surprise too, but the way they implemented it is actually fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it's the implementation, and it's just funny. Like, I mean, it's a great character.
I'm assuming this is Troy Baker's Joker.
No,
is it Mark Hamill?
I think.
Mark Hamill.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he said the last one was his last time doing that voice.
No, he said that because they were keeping this under wraps.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
I mean, that's a testament to Troy Baker.
That is the only reason why this works, is because it's Mark Hamill. This is Mark Hamill's like Joker swan song. This is like, the thing about Mark Hamill is he's been working on this franchise for like 20 years now.
Yeah.
He has been himself, even before he was an actor, like when he was a kid, he was a huge comic book fan. Like he has lived in this world his whole life. And he loves the Joker as a character. If you listen to him talk about doing this character. Like he approaches it from more angle than like just a job. Like he approaches it from the point of view of a fan. So he thinks a lot about who the Joker is. He's built this whole Joker identity and persona, and the way that the Joker is presented in this game as being like a reflection of Batman's personality gives him a chance to explore that in a different angle than just being Batman's nemesis, know?
Yeah.
Because he's not who Batman is fighting, he's just kind of there offering commentary basically on Batman and his state of mind and what he's doing. It's a really interesting way for Mark Hamill to kind of like dig into those deeper aspects of Joker's personality that you maybe don't get to see in a lot of the different mediums.
So this may be dumb. So where did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware this was Mark Hamill doing the voice. In fact, since I didn't even know the Joker was in the game until I started playing it, when did he come out and say that he was the one who did the voice for the Joker?
What's in the credits?
But no one's seen the credits yet.
Are we? Wait.
So, I mean,
What do you? This is like. Are we just like? This isn't. What?
Okay, never mind.
Is this in dispute that?
I was under the assumption that it was still Troy Baker because.
Dude, now you make me feel like I'm going crazy. Somebody look this up.
Because
if I just said all that and it's actually Troy Baker, which it's not.
Okay, I mean it's probably not. You're probably right. I thought there would have been way more I thought it would have been way more obvious. I think there would have been interviews. There would have been yes, Mark Hamill.
Well, that's one of the things that keeping it under
It's
wraps.
obviously Mark Hamill. His voice is.
I think Troy Baker did a phenomenal job of
No, he
impersonating
did a great
Mark
job,
Hamill's
but
voice.
it's different.
It is different.
Well, and without hearing them side by side, it's not super obvious to me. So that's just me.
But
Whatever.
it's also Troy Baker's Joker is Mark Hamill. It's an interpretation of Mark Hamill's Joker.
Yeah, which is why I wasn't
I'm
sure.
going crazy.
Let's talk about the game.
Yeah.
The game is incredible.
The game.
This right here, like flying around.
It's a cool
Dude, flying is so
game.
much more
So
satisfying in this
good.
game.
Well,
it's good.
Let me just say,
It's
going
always-
into this game, I was not super hyped. I
don't think any of us were.
I played
Maybe this guy,
Origins,
but-
Oh,
obviously, and I liked
of course,
Origins, but there was a certain amount of I kind of know what to expect from Batman, so I didn't let myself get too excited. And I even put down The Witcher, so I was like, I'll just plow through Arkham Knight so I can get that behind me. Whatever. I'll plow through Arkham Knight so I can go back to The Witcher, and that's what I'm focusing on. And then I started playing this, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This game is fucking incredible. There's so many little tiny details, and there's so many mechanics too. Holy shit!
There's
talk-
too many mechanics.
There might be borderline too many mechanics, but this was their last
There
opportunity.
is too many mechanics.
There's so many different
I feel-
options and tools to approach any situation. It's just sometimes I feel like if I get into a combat situation and I'm just punching and kicking,
You're doing it wrong,
I'm
yeah.
doing it wrong. It's like I should be throwing batarangs and bat claws and dropping explosives and calling in the Batmobile.
I feel really overwhelmed because you have so many options in combat. And we played Shadow of Mordor last year and we're like, oh, it's so Batman. It's Batman, just like Batman.
Yeah.
Shadow of Mordor is so much more simpler
Yeah.
than this game because he has so many fucking gadgets. And there's different ways to use the gadgets. And now that you have the Batmobile, it just adds so much more you can do. And this is the first time I played a video game, and I just sort of felt like an old man wrestling with the controller because every button does 18 things when you combine it with a different button.
Yeah.
It's like...
All right,
So I wanted to say one thing before I forget because Crispy mentioned it earlier, and that could be a game changer for some people. But one of the most frustrating things for me, and if I played this at midnight release, and one of the most frustrating things with the Batmobile was reverse and brake.
Yes.
I always hit an left trigger, but then apparently you can swap it in the options. You can turn it onto a trigger onto a toggle
mode.
which will make the left trigger be reverse and stop.
But see,
and stuff like that.
they do not make that clear
They
in the
don't tell
menu.
you.
okay,
Yeah.
Which they
this
do-
is a perfect opportunity for bring this up.
We should talk about the Batmobile.
Well, no, I do want to. So, what we're going to be doing going forward on podcasts, especially when we're talking about big games that we're all playing, we have dedicated threads on our forums at 4playernetwork.com, and we're asking for people's opinions, insights, points, whatever. And I'm going to try and go through these and bring them up here throughout the show. And one of our community members, Icky, in chat brought up. He said, "I feel the game does a poor job of teaching you its mechanics, which surprises me because I did a good job in previous games. If I have to open the menu and look at the upgrades to see how to quick use gadgets in battle, I feel like you failed."
Yeah.
I kind of agree with him on that.
Well,
there's just so much I wouldn't go as far as say that they failed.
I think there are a lot of mechanics in the past 2 games that you don't even know are in there.
Probably.
No, you're definitely
So
right.
I think it still suffers from that same sort of like kind of obscurity of exactly what it is you can and can't do. Because like I said, I just went back, or I didn't say this, but I did just go back and play through all the original Arkham games, and I was doing shit, especially in Arkham City, that I was like, I've never done that before.
Yeah.
Really
And this game
rolling
just
rough.
has like 10 times more shit in it. Like it's ridiculous.
This is one of the few games where I feel like they had a design doc, and you have a meeting at the beginning where you're like, we're going to build this game. Let's just throw as much at the wall as we can possibly see, and then start narrowing it down, isolating the things that we want to focus on. And I think this is the first game where they're like, we're not doing that. So everything that we want to do, we're going to find a way to do.
But I wanted to say, when it comes to game development, game design, and tutorials and menus and teaching people how to play the game, you have 2 options. You either make the game very open at the beginning, like this game is. You pretty much just jump in and start playing. There's not really tutorials or anything. There's a couple. Or there, even some open world games have very linear beginnings where they kind of force you to learn the mechanics and stuff like that. And I'm almost don't stick me in a linear hallway, but put me in situations where I have to use a certain mechanic multiple times to kind of get it.
And then they only do it for some of it because there's so much.
Well, that's what I'm saying is they need to do it, and it's one of those situations where, like, if you look at Batman Arkham Asylum. You start off with so few like tools at the beginning of the game.
That game's practically a Metroidvania.
You really have like 4 gadgets when you start.
And so as you go, you get new things, and so the problem with this game is you just get it all.
Not just that. Not just
here
that.
it is.
It is not just mechanics and gadgets. It's also enemy types. In those other games, that you were just fighting really simple enemies at first. But in this game, when you are flying around the city early on and it's all open, you can fly down into like one of these save the firefighter combat challenges, which can introduce like 3 new enemy types that you've not even fought in the game before, and they're all in a pack. Like the first time I found one of those, I kept getting my ass kicked because I was fighting shield dudes and guys with stun rods and guys that are shooting, and it's like I don't remember how to do any of this stuff.
And then they start throwing in like ninjas and medics and like
what the beauty of it is though? There's 2 things. Well, first of all, and this may be a detriment to some people, but I feel like they went into this game with an expectation that you've played their previous games.
Yeah,
which
definitely.
Well, you really, you shouldn't be playing this if you haven't played.
Yeah, love it or hate
Arkham
it.
City.
The thing is, if you have played it, or if you remember, or if you have, if you have that muscle memory from the first games, like this game is going to feel fantastic right off the bat. Second of all, they do give you a lot of choices and options, but like I ended up in a situation like you said, Brad, where I was being overwhelmed and there was like dudes with knives and shit, and I was like, oh my god, and I hit L1 and my fucking Batmobile just comes spinning into the room and everyone panics,
dude,
and I was just like,
it's such a good feeling, isn't it? Like, oh my god,
it's amazing.
Fear takedowns, too. It's all new.
Okay, so
fear takedowns
are really cool.
That is such a cool mechanic.
And
I like it.
This is like they've always done a really great job of making you feel really maneuverable, like being able to go like zip line up and then shoot into a vent. But like this game, I feel like is so silky smooth. Like once you have those basic traversal mechanics down, like you can like be all over these fucking maps. Like
you just do cartwheels and somersaults everywhere.
Fucking dudes that charge at you though. Ooh,
the charging dudes.
So by the way, these enemies right here, I actually can't punch or they'll shock me, which I'm assuming I know why. But someone take it from me.
Okay, so here we go. Can we talk about the Batmobile, because that's the big thing, the big divisive thing about this game.
Yes, we can.
And it is very divisive.
Bat tank.
Okay. I think a lot of people are complaining about how the game kind of funnels you through a lot of this Batmobile content, which the majority of which is consistent of like tank battles and then like these Riddler racetracks. So
not just that, also like puzzle solving and stuff too.
The thing is,
they force you to use it a lot.
Okay, but
it's a very prominent mechanic in the game.
I think the stuff that isn't as good is like the tank content. I think
it's lame.
I think that stuff is well made, and I think it makes sense mechanically. It doesn't make sense in the terms of Batman.
This guy right here.
Not just makes sense.
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh yeah.
Not just makes sense. But
why would Batman have a fucking tank with like rocket launchers and shit, and be using it on just like thugs?
Well, I think they took some inspiration from Batman Begins, and that thing was practically a fucking tank.
It's well made, and it's as best as it can possibly be, I think. But that doesn't mean it's all that fun.
Now, honestly,
it's
like
not great, but
the tank is at its best, I think, when you literally use it when you're coming. like when you're going at high speeds in the Batmobile, and then you just transition into the tank mode and fire off a few rounds, and then go straight back into the Batmobile. Like those, when you see like quick glimpses of it, or you use it to solve puzzles, or like they basically did that to make the Bat winch
The
accessible,
winch.
usable. Yeah, like that, and like they needed something that you could like strafe with. In order
There's
to
a
use
lot
that
of
effectively.
cool stuff. I think a lot of the puzzle solving stuff that you do with the Batmobile, I think a lot of the like pursuit mode stuff that you do with the Batmobile, all of that makes perfect sense, and I love it. And I think the Batmobile as a whole is a wonderful addition to the game.
Yeah.
I think the amount of tank combat is a bit much.
You just fight
I think-
waves of tanks.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the Riddler racetracks. I think
like
they
it.
are really clever. They're frustrating though, just because some of them
It's
are
a
so
little squirrely, the
ridiculously hard.
Batmobile,
Yeah,
yeah,
it is. It's a little touch and go on those.
I'll tell you
But
this.
I really like overall. There is just something so goddamn satisfying about flying around, calling the Batmobile, getting into it, driving it around, because driving it feels wonderful.
So
Like,
when I first started the game, I think a lot of people were in the situation when they started the game and they were like, "This is really hard to handle," and I felt that way at first too. But the more after I did a few of the Riddler racetracks and I did a few of the chase sequences with Firefly, whatever, like.
Those can get frustrating.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love the shit out of those sequences, and I love like they even implemented these. You have to chase these like
things, whatever they're called,
ammo tanks or
oh,
whatever.
the armored personnel carriers.
Yeah, you have to chase those around town, and like I started getting down to the point where like these are some of the most thrilling moments of the game for me.
But this is Batman. Like this makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the immobilizers, his like riot
This is fucking
suppression
Burnout.
cannons.
Like look at that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Like this makes sense. It's when you get into that tank mode and you're doing the whole like strafing, fire your
But, like,
cannons, EMPs.
I got to the point
That's
where
less
like
Batman.
when at first I was like all over the place, and now I've gotten to the point where I feel like I have a whole lot of control over
get
that
better at
Batmobile.
it, for sure.
yeah, I
And,
feel like just because it takes a minute to get used to, just because there's a little bit of a learning curve to it, doesn't mean it's a bad mechanic.
And the moment that I discovered that like this game I think was something special, especially because of the way they handled the Batmobile, like I took a turn, like kind of like what I just did, like a 90-degree turn around a corner, and I was kind of in between some buildings, and I was like, I'm not gonna make this turn. I could already tell, like as I'm going into it, I'm gonna hit the side, I'm gonna stop, and then I'm just gonna like the whole ebb and flow of that chase sequence is gonna be off.
Yeah.
But unlike any other game I've done like this, like I took that turn and I missed it. The back of the Batmobile hit the corner of the building and tore through the building. Just bricks everywhere, and I just hit the afterburners and floored it as like sparks and bricks and everything was flying. And I was
It's
like,
very satisfying.
like the game was like, I don't give a fuck. Just you got this going. We're not gonna stop you. And
I wish it was
goes.
a cool, sleek, like Tim Burton Batmobile though, or something.
Yeah.
I don't think
Like the one
think-
that turns into the motorcycle in part 2.
Dude, this is definitely taking influence and like.
Oh, it's from the Tumblr
from
or
the
whatever.
Tumblr.
Yeah, from Batman Begins.
I personally, I really like.
I think it's a really great. I think it
It's-
actually feels like a mix of the two.
It's a mix between the Tumblr and like a lot of really good comic book.
Look at that
ones.
shit! I just landed on a blimp. Look at that.
That's very Tim
The thing
Burton.
about the thing about the Batmobile is it's like, if you read the comics,
Who do you trust?
you never see the same Batmobile twice.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it's one of
It's
those
because
things.
you're basically giving artists like an artist would see like, okay, the Batmobile's gonna be in this issue. Like an artist would be like, I want to fucking design a new Batmobile.
and they've even done ones before. Like there was I don't remember. It was like 5 or 6 years ago. There was an arc where there's a part where he's like, "All right, let's go. We're gonna take the Batmobile." And they're like, "Okay, which one?" And they had this giant like garage in the Batcave that had like every famous iteration of the Batmobile, like from all the way back to like the 30s.
it's really cool.
I just wish he could say shields.
Um,
Should have the sweet shields appear. Oh, wait, one more thing on the Batmobile.
Well, there's a few more things in the Batmobile right here.
I will say it does seem pretty forced when you're using it for like puzzle solving. Like, hey, you got to electrify this thing, so get your Batmobile up on this roof somehow. He's fucking Batman. He'd probably have a gadget to make that thing work.
Well, he does. It's called the Batmobile.
But that's excessive. It's excessive getting a Batmobile up on a roof to like open a thing or to like electrify something or I mean,
Yeah.
maybe use your electric gun or something. I don't know.
Dude, they spent so much time making this Batmobile, and they were just like, we're going to use it every way we can.
Yeah.
I really wish you could like just shoot a fucking like your tow line and just drive up the side of the building
can.
towing
You
yourself.
practically can.
Well,
I
there's a
think.
moment you
I know.
really do
At
that.
one point early on, you do that, but I'm saying I wish you could do that almost like whenever.
The thing is, I've found all kinds of Riddler trophies are all over town, like on rooftops, where I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to somehow need to use the Batmobile. And
Yeah.
when you like, and sometimes they're hard. Like, it'll be like, how am I going to get it up here? And when you figure out how to get it up there, like that's cool.
It really needs fucking Speed Racer's G button, the fucking where it puts the shocks out the bottom, so when you're driving, you can just and like launch yourself
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
There's a couple things about before Mobile. First of all, Unknown Addict. Nolan actually brought it up before I had a chance to read it, but he does agree with you on the L2 thing of having the tank option is on L2.
It's
'cause
super
it's hard
like,
to break the
confusing at
habits.
the beginning. Yeah,
I mean,
because like 90% of games that use
Yeah.
driving, it's the right trigger and left trigger for.
And they
There's so
practically
many
made-
times where you're trying to brake and it just goes into that like
Tank.
floaty tank
Yep.
mode automatically, and it just is really not great.
Also, like Jaeger actually said, Jaeger.
Jaeger.
I've never said that correctly.
Jogger.
He says, I also feel like it would have been a good idea to use the tank form transformation as a way to make sharp turns as or as like an alternate brake, which you can, but there's too much of a slowdown. So
Yeah, it
it's
slows you
Yeah.
down too much.
Which there's been so many moments where I've like I don't think I'm gonna make that turn, so instead of braking, I hit L2, but it's like coming out of that.
the
it's
way
just,
the way the
especially if
vehicle
you're in a
changes
chase.
its momentum and stuff. Yeah, it changes
the only,
too much.
The only time I do that is when I miss. I hit a wall and I just sort of use the tank to like move my tank slightly
the
to the
correct
left
position,
and then keep
yeah.
going again. But other than that, yeah.
And also, like, I love getting in the Batmobile and just going down a street, and then at the end of the street, just double tapping X and ejecting,
Launching out.
Because not only do you go farther, you can literally climb, like gain altitude for a long time to the point where you're
Which is,
like
like, new.
in skyscraper, like
Yeah.
this height right here in the footage. Is you could easily get that height just from ejecting from the Batmobile,
Yeah.
and that is really cool.
Jeez.
I do. I just. I don't know. Is it?
I
No. Here's what I'm gonna ask. When y'all are like going places, do y'all just drive now, or do you still fly?
I
It
do a
depends.
pretty healthy mix of both, honestly. And you know,
I'll fly for a while and then I'll be like, oh, I'm thinking the Batmobile for a minute, and I like it's just I don't know. It's just a nice little change up because like flying and grappling is better than it's ever been. So
Dude,
that's always really
you can
fun
do
to
those. You can have those moments like in the Dark Knight where he's at the top of that building and like the camera pans over the top and he just
Yeah.
like does a straight fall.
Yeah.
like
I love that they added that too, where he just does that like fall off.
He just
oh
does like
my
a swan
God.
dive and the camera just stays behind him. Oh my god, it's so
They
good.
added so many like little stylish little flourishes to it that just really make it feel like Batman. But like tearing around in the Batmobile hasn't gotten old for me yet.
No, it hasn't
I
for me
always,
either.
I always relish a chance to do that as well. It just depends. You know?
I don't want to talk too much about story because obviously some people haven't finished it, ourselves included.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go into too much detail about it.
talk
But
about
like
the main thing though.
like the main stuff I think is good. I haven't reached a conclusion yet as to whether it's my favorite or not. But this game feels like the I loved Arkham City. I did. I loved it.
Everyone did. It was
But
a great
like
game.
this feels like the ultimate. Like there is
Dude.
so much stuff. And what I love about it, it has that sense of like, and Arkham City had it to a degree as well, but like, it has those moments from like Red Dead where you're like gliding over the city, and then all of a sudden you kind of out of the corner of your eye you see something, and you're like, what is that? And then just on a whim, you just go to explore it, and all of a sudden it opens up a whole new plot line.
Yeah.
And like, it didn't have a cutscene, it didn't have, it.
I have not found
It
anything
doesn't.
like
It doesn't give you like these. It doesn't automatically mark everything on your map, so it's not like an Ubisoft game where you
Yeah.
just automatically see all these things that you can go out and do.
Yeah.
But they're still there, and you can mark them. You can choose to go into your menu and say, I want to do this site. Like if you've already kind of explored the side quest, you can choose to mark it on your map, and then it's kind of like an Ubisoft game where you see it on your map and you know where to go. But if you don't mark it, it's still there, and you can still very much find it very naturally. And it's a lot easier in this game because you're gliding over the city, because you have such like a bird's eye view of it.
Well,
and then you can do that in conjunction with the detective mode, and you can see where people's conversations are coming from, and that can lead you down different paths.
I will say that a lot of that like side quest content in Arkham City was pretty cool, but having like when I went back recently and played it, I finished some side quest lines that I had never finished before. Some of those are really
Maybe bring your mic in just a little bit.
some of those are really shallow.
Yeah.
The identity thief killer quest line
Oh yeah.
was a huge cock tease.
Yeah.
That one was one that I'd never finished before.
Have you found any, without any details, have you found any instances in this game where there were like side quests
I
that
haven't
panned out that were kind of like cock teases,
I haven't
as you put
finished any yet.
it? Okay. Yeah.
I'm a little. I think the I don't know what they're calling it in this game, but the serial killer that you're
Yeah.
like hunting down, I think that ties into the identity quest line, the
From
identity
Arkham
thief
City?
quest line from Arkham City. So it might, once you find all the victims, it might just kind of end as well. But at least in this one, you're actually doing like what I think is like kind of interesting presentation work, you know, like the deep tissue scan.
Yeah,
that you use
yeah.
on- that stuff was kind of cool. In Arkham City, it was like 3 corpses, and it was like, here's a body, follow this trail,
yeah. This feels a lot more
find another
played
body
out
later,
in this
Yeah.
one.
you know.
It's not so shallow.
Like the thing, like the Firefly quest line, because he was introduced in Origins, right?
Yeah.
Like in this one, like I was flying over a city and over the city, and I look over and there's a huge building just on fire,
On fire,
and I was like, what the fuck? And I fly down and I do this puzzle, whatever, to kind of like turn on the sprinklers, whatever, to put the fire out, and then boom, fucking fire.
But
there, and I was
that's
like, whoa,
the way a
wait,
Batman
shit.
game should be.
No,
Yeah.
but I got tipped about that. In fact, all the side quest characters,
You get
know,
tipped.
like the serial, the one where there's the flaming bat symbol on the roof or whatever.
Yes,
that
you-
dude.
you can
I
get
got
tipped.
tipped on all of those.
Yeah, at certain points in the story,
but they're more
Alfred
like
will
nudges.
be like,
They're just
well,
like sometimes they'll
But
tell you
that
they'll be like,
that stuff is there without getting tipped off by Alfred.
yeah. Well, I mean, like at a
Yeah,
certain
you
point
can-
in the story, it'll
you can start a lot of those without them telling you to do it. It's
That's
just
cool.
when you get to certain points in the story, if you haven't done something, Alfred will be like, "Oh, by the way, these are other cases that are open that we have more information on that
and
you can go check
like
out."
the you know, I don't want to spoil anything, but you saw the man bat in the footage. Just like
Yeah.
that was another thing where I was trying to avoid any kind of spoiler footage, and it just kind of happened while I was recording. But like
Good old
the
Dr.
first
Langston.
moment, I didn't know he was in the game, and I ziplined onto a building, and as I was coming up the zipline, he was in my face, and I was like, "What
good.
the fuck?" And that literally scared the shit out of me. Like I wasn't tipped off about that,
Yeah.
and like that just kind of opened a whole new side quests and.
Dude, how are our top 10s gonna look this year?
Dude, they're gonna be great.
insane.
I will say this: I was playing a lot of Witcher 3 today, which is still a fantastic fucking game, and it's easy to forget that until you start doing these like story moments and these side quests and stuff.
Yeah.
But playing this like all weekend, I started to realize just how much better of a you know like of a metagame this has. Like the progression is filled with like
Oh,
at any
yeah,
moment in
like-
time there's dozens and dozens of skills
Yep.
that are all super useful. You want all of them, and that fuels your urge to want to explore.
Definitely.
So you can rescue so you can do all these little side missions, and your motivation is not just because they're kind of cool, but because you seriously
you're
want to
like-
level up in that game. Because when you get something, it feels significant, it feels powerful, and
When
there's
you're looking
always
at all
more you
those,
want.
when you're looking at those like gadget abilities, and you're like, he can do that.
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
fucking a, man.
And that's one place where The Witcher 3 is really kind of fumbled. And if you know, I'm just glad that I've been acknowledging that lately on the last few podcasts, and I'm glad that I'm playing a game where it's sort of confirming that no, there are games out there that really do this stuff right, and this is definitely one of them.
Speaking of fumbles,
Yeah.
do we want to talk about PC port?
Oh well.
That was
I figured maybe that come up in the news.
Well.
well, you're playing the PC
Yeah,
version.
let me
Yeah,
ask
Chris
you,
Davis
how
and I
is
are
it?
on the PC. His PC's more powerful than mine. Mine's definitely not the high end of the recommended settings.
Has it been bad for you?
I'm kind of in between, but honestly, it hasn't. Like I went into the any files and I got rid of the locked frame rate. So mine doesn't run at 60. Mine probably runs at like 40. But so I mean, I haven't had any issues. Like I was watching videos of the issues people were having, and their games were unplayable.
Well, if you have an AMD card, it's just a disaster.
And so that's the thing is, it's like, why did they choose to port this with a team of 12 people?
Was it only 12 people?
12 people
in like a few months.
This game,
and only a few months ported this game.
That seems impossible.
Yeah, and no, clearly it was because Steam took the game down.
And
you can't even buy it on Steam
they
anymore.
took it down.
Didn't they say Rocksteady is stepping in to fix it?
But I don't understand. Wasn't Origins like a pretty good PC port?
Probably, but they probably.
Oh, sorry, WB took it down. Well, so I didn't follow it all.
Well, I mean, either way, it's a pretty huge
Origins
fumble.
on PC, and that was.
Oh, the Origins port was bad too.
But yeah, this is one of the. I mean, this had like the Steam reviews were so bad.
Yeah, well,
and obvious, but it's just funny just because it was the point where like, man, the console, this game runs much better on console.
I'll tell you what, I'm
PC.
playing this on PS4, and I'll be honest, I feel like this is one of the best looking games I've ever played in my life. It looks
definitely
crazy good.
The weather effects.
It's also kind of insane that this is on the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd say that about an Unreal Engine game, but this game is fucking beautiful.
It is.
It's good, but I have not. It's technically very well done, but I've not seen.
I think it's
anything
technically
to kind of like.
Well, I think it's also the fact that you're in this giant open world that looks good. When are there loading screens?
Dude, I mean, like
it's a pretty good looking game.
When you're in like the
That's where you kill that guy, Nick.
Oh yeah,
like some of the early game areas where there's
There
like
he
those
goes.
huge riots and there's just like
Yeah.
dozens and dozens and dozens of thugs out on the streets, and you're out in the open world. And it's like raining. Like there's a lot going on as far as
and this game has. I mean,
like resource management here.
it's
And
a
I
real
think it
shame about the
handles it
PC
really
version,
well.
but like the console version in this case is beautiful, and it
Like I
runs.
said, my version runs really well on my PC at least.
so
Thankfully.
is it all kind of boiling down to the whatever kind of graphics card you have?
I think AMD
AMD
does
cards?
pose a big issue. Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
You know, another thing I really, really appreciate about this game is Scarecrow, because Scarecrow has always been like kind of a favorite villain. There are a lot of people who really like Scarecrow. I always thought he was kind of hokey.
He was hokey.
I don't think he's ever really been featured as prominently as he. Like he usually gets that like side villain.
Okay, let's not kid around here. Joker. I mean, Scarecrow is a big villain in this game, so Joker can be a big villain in this game, right?
I mean, maybe.
What do you mean?
I mean, the only reason the Joker exists is because the Scarecrow's in this game.
Oh, they use Scarecrow as the villain
As
as
a-
a method to shoot.
Yeah,
him
but at the
over.
same time, they spend
Maybe
a
I'm
lot
not
of
far enough in the
but they
story,
spend a
but-
lot of time making the Scarecrow, I think, really cool.
Well,
I mean,
in this
that-
game.
Scarecrow, like if you're gonna,
They could have just thrown the Scarecrow in, had him throw his fear toxin, and then Joker the rest of the time. But they didn't just shoehorn Scarecrow in. He actually he's a well-developed character in this case, and like
Yeah.
it's not just they didn't just throw him in.
I mean, you're probably right, Brad. They probably were like, he is probably the most obvious choice for, concocting a way to bring the Joker back in some form.
well, I think more so than just as a storytelling contrivance. If you're gonna have this, all these Arkham games are about one night, one giant big bad threat that the Bat has to take down. There's only a few villains in his roster that really can fill that role. People like Penguin and Two-Face are never going to be those villains. People like Riddler isn't really going to be that villain.
Also, on the Riddler,
Well, the Riddler. Well, I mean,
why
look
does
at
he look so
look at the
lame?
shit that
Yeah.
he wears.
Can't he have a cool outfit? He's just like a.
I like the Riddler
I think
shirt.
he looks
Like,
great.
that
He's
shirt that
shirtless.
he's wearing, I'm like, I would buy that. That looked really cool. But yeah,
I've seen some cool
they do
Riddler
really
outfits,
kind of
though.
like they really did kind of pare him down a little bit.
Sorry.
But Scarecrow, just because of his whole shtick, makes sense that he could be a standalone big bad.
Yeah.
I think his design's always been kind of weak.
Even in this game?
It's a big
I think-
difference from his city
I think
incarnation.
his Arkham Asylum, Arkham City version at the time was like, whoa, you made Scarecrow look cool and creepy. This version of Scarecrow makes that version look like a fucking clown.
yeah.
Like, this Scarecrow is incredible. And they got that creepy old guy from Fringe to do
Yeah.
the voice, and he is fucking
He's really good.
killing it.
He is really good.
This is the ultimate version of Scarecrow I believe.
I think Cillian Murphy is the ultimate version of Scarecrow.
Yeah, okay.
The thing is, even when they put Scarecrow in the movies, he was still like the side villain.
Yeah, he was always like kind of the joke villain. Like,
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's really cool. Maybe we can move on from Batman now. I mean, we've talked about it a lot.
I'm really liking this. I'm glad I didn't play Origins because
oh, dude, this game.
I kind of miss it. You know?
Yeah, this game just kind of emphasizes.
But to be
what
fair,
a
like
shitty game Origins was.
But I mean, I played Origins, and I liked it.
Go back and play it again and tell me you still
Well,
like
I'm
it.
never, especially after this. Like, there was no way.
I played
what's the reason?
Origins a second time, and now I if I disliked it before, I utterly hate it now.
Really?
Yeah, it did not hold up.
I'm actually now that kind of makes me interested to just go back and try it just for shits and giggles.
would.
Dude,
Well,
finish
speaking
this
of
game and then go play
giggles,
Origins.
I got too many other things. Too many other things. But anyways,
Speaking of things,
well, before I just want to reiterate, guys, check out the forums of 4playernetwork.com. We're starting official threads for all the major games that we're talking about that are going to be featured on podcast discussions. And if you go in there and you leave your thoughts on the game, we'll comb through them before major discussions, and the show will bring them up periodically. So it might help us take the conversation in directions that we may not have gone otherwise. So check those out. Check back frequently at 4playernetwork.com. The featured popular forum discussion threads are featured on the front page. So check that out. Anyways, sorry, Brad. I didn't mean to derail your transition.
speaking of transitions,
No.
I'm going to transition to this next game.
No.
So I've been playing a hot new.
Oh fuck, we forgot
game.
to talk about major piece of. Sorry.
Okay, well we'll pop back to that. See, the thing's
We'll
on
come-
the top now, so there's no going back. Clearly.
no-
We'll come
turning
back to
back
Batman and revisit a few things.
I've been playing a little game called Her Story. This is a game that came out last week, I believe.
Yeah.
And it is a FMV like mystery game where you're watching a series of interrogation
Interrogations,
tapes,
yeah.
and you're kind of combing through them to try to figure out what's going on in this story with this mystery. Now, the first thing I'll say is that this is written and directed by Sam Barlow. You might know him as the writer-director behind Silent Hill Shattered Memories, which is a really cool game. He was also what's the studio called? Climax. They were also the ones that were rebooting Legacy of Kain before that got canceled. He was directing that. But when I say FMV, I mean like real actual people. It's video. This entire game is this interface. You're on this computer. It's 1994, so it's a very old computer, and they have very antiquated software. And what you're doing is all you have is a text field, and you're typing in keywords. Now, any word that you type in, it'll bring up every video where the person. There's only this one lady who you're watching these videos of, these interview tapes of, right? Anytime she utters that word, that counts as, like the
videos,
if you type in murder, it'll show up every video where she says the word
The
murder.
video is essentially like transcribed.
Yeah,
And you can
transcribed.
search a database full of the
So you're
information.
searching her.
You're searching what she says. Now, the thing is, part of this antiquated software is it only shows the first 5 videos. Now, you find out
Chronologically.
at the very beginning that this person, Simon, has been murdered. Now, if you type Simon, it'll say there's 63 videos where she said the word Simon. Here is the first 5 of them. And in chronological order,
yeah.
so you can't necessarily like jump to like the last recorded interview where she mentions Simon. So the gameplay loop of this game is sort of uncovering this mystery by watching these videos, and she'll mention something like a location or another person you have not heard before, and you'll like jot it down in your notes, and you can actually kind
Like when you say your notes, like your
yeah.
physical
So
notes.
I played this with Malia.
Brad's writing stuff on paper.
No, Malia was, because I was playing with this Malia.
Malia was
and she
her-
was
his
writing down
partner.
all these keywords for us to search later.
Malia's the bad cop.
Yeah.
Brad is the good cop.
Yeah, so she'd mention somebody's name, and we like, who the hell is that? You type in that name and find, okay, there's 8 more videos where she said that person's name. And you very organically sort of uncover what's going on in this story with this person, why they're interviewing her, how this person may have died.
You're not going to spoil anything about this game, are you?
I'm not going to spoil anything.
Because this looks fucking rad.
It's fucking cool. And the thing is, these videos that you pull up, you could add your own tags to them if you want to go back and search.
Like, organize them?
So, yeah. So, like, okay, you can add the tag clue to ones that you find suspicious. So when you go back and add, type in clue, all those videos will pop up again. Or you can even kind of like add them to a saved video.
So you're essentially playing. You're kind of interactively playing the game of like the cops putting up all of the notes and sorting through all the information on a giant whiteboard, but you're doing it in this format.
Yes,
kind of. You're digging through. Like, you're going through the process of digging through everything and then piecing it all
connecting
together.
those dots.
Connecting dots.
So the interesting thing that I was talking about with Brad is that you see all of her answers to the police officer who was interrogating her, ask her a question. You see her answer. You don't hear the question though.
Never the question.
You never know what she was asked, and I find that very intriguing and also a poor police work. Yeah. That they did not record the question that was asked.
There's little README files on this computer that were like kind of apologizing for how crappy the software is or whatever.
The story was made by writers, not cops.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's just like I've never played anything like this.
Yeah.
This is like a super unique way to like handle this mystery
seems like
game.
like a kind of like if it's all like the simulation of this computer desktop, it's like a really meta like way to go through a mystery.
Yeah. And it was very fun to play with another person. There's definitely these like revelatory moments like, oh my god, wait. Because you got to understand that you can stumble into like the final recorded video like super early on in the game. And like she'll be talking like about things that are completely unrelated to some of the like maybe the first videos in that timeline that are at the point that's much further along in this story, but you kind of don't know the context or you don't know how they got there, and it's just fun to kind of piece it together and figure it all out. You start having these moments like where like
is it like
one
dark?
of us were like wait search that word. Yeah, no, this is it involves murder.
I like murder.
And I will say that like I know there's only one actress, but she's really good in ways that you don't even expect. It's just this game's $5 on Steam. Like buy it, play it. It's really cool. Really cool.
You know what?
Or you should just play Murder.
Maybe we should all play it over the next. Well, I was gonna say this would be a great
Batman.
This would be a great
Witcher 3.
I don't know. I realized when I said it the wrong.
Well, this is like
this thing is like
similar to Batman. You're doing detective work.
I was gonna say this would be a great this would be a great thing to open up in the forums, and then have a discussion next week where we've all played it and see what other people think. Because
the only problem is that
I talked to Bernadette about this. Because as soon as I had heard about it, I heard you mention it at some point. It was before you broadcasted it. And I saw an article online about it, and I talked to her about it, and she seemed like she would want to play it. Because she does like video games.
Oh, shit. Emily's going to be here this weekend. Maybe me and Emily can play it.
Yeah, I think that's fucking
it's another one of those... travel halfway across the country to play a video game with you.
Fuck you, Crispy. Fuck you.
It doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
And,
wait, have you finished it?
I did. I finished it.
How many hours?
Like 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But, I am smart. So I'm gonna take you on.
World's greatest detective.
World's greatest detective.
Sorry.
There's other things I want to say, but I can't really even say them without spoiling. Like you could spend a lot more time with this game theoretically than other people.
Let's just not talk about it then.
But I recommend it to everyone. It's $5. Any computer could probably run it. I mean, it's just a bunch of videos.
Yeah.
They're saying that there's no actual like ending to the game.
Let's not get into that if that's kind of
I'm interested to try it though.
You just have to play it. I mean,
okay.
So
people who don't think there's an ending, they're dumb people.
I wanted to say,
people. Don't listen to them.
Yes. That one game I've been playing is A Tale of Two Wastelands.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is
That's not a game.
Yes, it is.
That's
two games. Is that
correct?
What is it? Just Fallout?
So no, it's Fallout New Vegas. That's what it is. It's a mod for Fallout New Vegas that incorporates Fallout 3 into the game. So you can literally play Fallout 3 and you're roaming around, the Capital Wasteland. You're at Megaton, and then you jump on a train and you're all of a sudden in the Mojave Desert.
Is the character progression the same?
Yes, your character stays the same. So they raised the level cap.
Wait, so
But you're playing as the courier,
Yeah.
not the vault dweller. From
No,
Vault one.
You're both.
Yeah, you're both.
wait, so you play
Just
as
roll
one
with it. It's
Yeah.
a cool mod.
You play as one character across 2 games. Is what you're saying?
Yes.
That's
and so,
weird.
but the thing,
cool,
the mod adds a lot of stuff. Like, at the beginning, level progression is the same.
Yeah.
But then the higher you get, it kind of slows down. Otherwise, you just kind of be beastly. And so it kind of slows down to kind of incorporate the fact that you're playing 2 games.
Two games.
Yeah. But one of the things is I had never modded a Fallout game, and I've been doing like just really getting into the modding aspects. I spent like 3 hours modding this game to kind of get all the stuff right, and you can kind of tweak things here and there. Like one of the things I turned up was like knockback physics, so when I blow up a guy, he flies like 15 feet.
Do you have the one that lets you sprint?
Yeah. Yeah, so I can
That's a
sprint.
big one.
I can sprint. It does use action points,
Yeah, it
so you
uses
can't
action
just
points.
sprint. Like you have to actually use energy, but it's cool being able to actually run, run in a Fallout
so
game.
frustrating.
But then I've been having fun with also like tweaking like little things here and there. Like if you remember Moira Brown.
I remember.
Fuck her.
Yeah, she gives you all those small
Never
missions
forget.
at the beginning, and at one of them she was like, "Oh, come back injured." With like broken like limbs, and I was like, oh, so I just went into the modding settings and I decreased the fall damage, so I don't have to do very much to take fall damage, and I jumped over
A rock.
no, like I literally just jumped my regular height and fell and died because I
You
turned
just
it
like we're standing still. And
Yes.
like,
yeah, because I turned it down too much. But then I like turned it up a little higher, and I jumped off the very top of Megaton's like railing and fell, and I didn't even get hurt. I was like, "Fuck!" And so I was just kind of like messing with settings like those. Like kind of like there's so many different tweaks in this. There's a Project Nevada mod. Oh, I got rid of the green filter.
What? How does the game even look without the green filter?
It kind of just looks like a world, like blue skies, and like it looks like really interesting without the fucking green tint over everything.
That's weird.
Like I'm liking it.
But what about the
A lot of
yellow
people did that
tints?
with Deus Ex.
Well, the yellow tint won't
Does
be
it-
there when I go to Capital.
Does it look like
the
Fallout
Mojave.
4?
Maybe it's more colorful.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like Fallout 4 literally looks like they just like
Really
let's try it
bright.
without a filter this time, guys.
pretty much. But I've really been enjoying it. Like I said, there's a lot of little tweaks in the back end. I've been
You got to be
tweaking
careful
settings
with that stuff
and
because I've
I've
definitely modded sort of a game to the point where like I kind of broke the structure, like the economy and stuff, and that kills motivation.
I haven't changed that. I haven't changed. Like I'm still. The one thing I did change was I get a perk every level now, instead of every other level.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But I'm still on the reduced XP. I don't get as much experience and stuff like that. I didn't change like enemy like difficulty or anything like that. I just kind of made some things just like a little different here and there. But I've been really enjoying it, and it's kind of taking me back into like when I used to 2008 when I played Fallout 3 for the first time. And oh my god, this game is so good and so much fun, and there's so
Dude,
much to do.
I booted up New Vegas a few weeks ago for my broadcast because our subscribers of the month
support
wanted
of the
us to
month
play-
game. Yeah.
I wanted us to play Fallout, and I just started from the beginning, and I started playing that game, and God, that game gets its hooks in you fast.
Right?
It's good.
And
Maybe a lot of that's the Fallout 4 hype sinking
but
in.
I will say, smaller than I remember it being, like the physical world.
Which one, 3 or
3?
New Vegas?
because you've been playing
Yeah.
The Witcher.
Maybe, yeah, because I've been playing such big worlds that, like, because I remember playing Fallout. I remember playing it, and I remember exploring the world.
Is it because
And-
you're running?
No, you
Yeah,
can't. You
now
can't
that
run
you're
that
actually
much.
mobile.
But like, like, I just remember exploring the world and actually knowing where things are. Like, oh, if I go north from here, I'll find this and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, I went north. I found this town. I went north, and all of a sudden, I was here. I was like, that's how far it was. Like, I guess I don't know. It's just kind of.
I feel like after a while in those games, I was just fast traveling everywhere, so I
Maybe,
never
yeah.
really got like a continuous like sense of the world.
Fauska's right. I did up my carrying capacity a whole lot. So
I
God,
really,
that's- yeah, I would.
I really hope that Fallout 4 has some sort of flying transportation. Now, I know that they showed parts in the trailers where he was kind of riding in one of those helicopters.
Yeah.
But I hope that's something you can like call out or
Pilot?
even pilot yourself.
Oh my
because
God, wouldn't that be
just
so much
kill
fun?
Stop with the fast travel.
Right, just get rid of it.
If you put in fast travel of a game, you have approached the design of your world like incorrectly. create a world that gives the player a means of travel that's just simply faster. It doesn't have to be there from the beginning of the game, but introduce it so we don't have to like stare at a map and waypoints and like teleport everywhere. It's lame.
Crispy.
You know what game added fast travel for the first time and was really fun to move around because of the world it was really not fun to move around because of the world design? Batman Arkham Origins.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
They fucked up the world design because they gave you 2 different islands connected by that
One bridge.
dumbass bridge. And they said, instead of like making it interesting to move around that world, they said, let's just add fast travel points all over the place. And
There was fast travel in Origins?
Yeah.
Oh, God,
How did it work? I don't even
It was
remember.
like there was these towers you had to unlock, and then the Batwing would come and pick you up. And
Oh, I
take you. It was
forgot about
literally
that.
just like an animated sequence of like the Batwing going, and then you'd be like, "Oh, now you're in the Diamond District."
It's pretty dumb.
Oh my God!
I will
fuck that
say,
game.
like, I got one of my favorite weapons in Fallout 3, and that's the railway rifle. It's the one where you're shooting railroad spikes.
Yeah.
I fucking love that gun so much.
I understand.
Oh my
why.
God! It makes that noise, the choo-choo, like the fucking train sound when you shoot it. Oh my God, so
You
good.
know, I also fairly recently like started up New Vegas.
Yeah.
A while, this was months ago, and I modded it a bunch, and it did seem exciting at first. But then I found myself on like the 4th floor of like an apartment building, just going through room
Searching
after
lockers
room in
and
this
drawers,
drab-ass, like environment. There's a reason I prefer Elder Scrolls over Fallout, and it's because the world of Fallout's setting can get really dull.
It can at times, yeah.
Yeah, I think
But like I
it's-
said, one of my most memorable moments was from, I think it was New Vegas. I was in a building searching fucking drawers, and all of a sudden a red blip popped up on my screen. It's like, what the fuck? I thought this apartment was empty. And like it's moving around, and all of a sudden it pops in. It's that one super mutant, like it's like a woman or something, and she like ran some like radio station, and I made her mad, and she searched me down in the world.
Oh, yeah, she
That's
hunts
one
you
of the
down.
most fucking exciting things for me. Just like randomly searching a building and
She'll
having her
literally
show
like
up.
doesn't she like run everywhere, but
Yeah.
like it will literally
She'll run to find you wherever
she'll
you
run,
go.
but like the time it would actually take her character to run across the
Is
map,
how
like
long, yeah.
just determines how long it'll take to find you.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. It's crazy.
It follows.
Yes, exactly.
I think it's safe to say we're all very excited for Fallout 4, which we may talk about again before the end of this podcast. But I think it's time to take a break. So we're going to do that. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got some news topics. We got some Patreon questions. We got Chatter of the Week, all that good stuff. Don't go
Yeah.
anywhere. We'll be back in just a second. All right, portion.
You dick!
That was awesome. That was awesome. Anyways, welcome back to the show, guys. Before we get started, I have 2 things I want to do. First things first, just because Brad and I and Chris Davis were in LA for a week, we didn't get much chance to like talk one-on-one with Nolan and Crispy about what was going on at E3. I know y'all did some commentary, which was great. Wish you could have been there with us.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
that would've been cool.
hopefully next year or the year
Got
after
some
that.
fucking
we will.
Fallout swag,
Dude, there was no swag at E3 this year, except
dude.
for except for that
except
one
for that
thing.
Bethesda thing.
Except for that
The
Bethesda
best thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except for all the really cool
which is
stuff.
now
we
sitting
got.
on top of my mantle. I'm never taking that out of the box, by the way.
I took mine out of the box.
You fucking nerd. Okay. Or maybe not. Anyways, whatever. Point is, I wanted to just get y'all's opinion. If y'all had a game of show, just from what y'all were seeing, what kind of stood out to you? As anything jump out at you as something that you're really now excited? Maybe let's say outside of the obvious, which we're all very excited for Fallout.
The obvious is Doom.
Oh,
Because
God damn it,
that
Chris.
was definitely one. No, I'm just joking. Fuck you, Chris Davis.
Hey, by the way,
Anyway.
I am pretty excited about Doom. That's trolling right
Dude,
there.
no, like, oh my god, there was so many. Fallout 4 just like kind of ruined my life.
Yeah, so I mean, we were doing the live commentary on the Bethesda press conference, and all of us were pretty meh.
And then it
about the
just-
conference, the conference was good.
Doom didn't blow your socks off?
Yeah, not really. And then Fallout was Todd Howard started talking about Fallout, and we were all
You
excited.
all skipped over Dishonored 2, which
I mean, we were expecting.
but that was just a cinematic.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Dishonored 2 was a cinematic. The idea of a Dishonored sequel is really exciting. That's cool, but that's not the kind of thing that's like going to keep me up at night.
Yeah.
You know?
And so, like, the Fallout thing was, we were all excited for Fallout.
Yeah.
But it was not like a huge excitement. We didn't have raging red boners.
I was thinking
we were just like, yeah, Fallout's gonna be good.
Todd Howard's going to come out. He's going to be like, Fallout 4 exists. Here's a pre-rendered trailer. It's coming out in 2017.
Yep.
Is like what I was
That's what
expecting.
almost all of us were expecting.
And then we got that. And then he's like, oh, by the way, November 10th.
Dude, he was dropping mics.
And I was just like, no! And I just started like beating myself with a brick.
You can ask Brad. I was sitting up there in the balcony, just doing this symbol, just like, take my money, take it, Todd. But
Todd Howard's a tiny guy.
Well, that's like when we were doing the meme or the caption contest. Someone had that one that was the picture of Nick, and it said, "When you nutted, but she's still sucking." And I was like, I voted for that one just because it was the truest. It had the most truth to it. You know? Like,
oh my god,
But as far as
so crass.
As far as I mean, like you said, obviously Fallout. I mean, my hype train for Last Guardian is kind of set to meh right now.
Really? That game?
Yeah,
the behind closed doors thing that we saw, I don't think they've shown that.
Yeah, we clearly saw that.
Yeah, no. But I'm just saying, like the thing they showed that wasn't on the presentation
I feel like I don't have a soul because
was all in one
You guys
tiny
are
room.
crazy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't wait for that thing.
I don't have a soul
That thing,
because
whatever it is.
Last Guardian's gonna be one of those things where I'm sure it's gonna be a fantastic game, but I'm not gonna get excited about it until I'm playing it.
That's like how it was for Batman Arkham Knight.
When someone says that they're remaking Final Fantasy VII, I don't give a fuck. Shenmue 3, I've never played any of the other Shenmues or know anything about them, so that doesn't mean anything to me. Honestly, I got more excited about the Elder Scrolls card game than any of those.
You did get pretty excited.
Wow.
What about that Star Wars card game?
The Star Wars card game, yeah, they're gonna do a Star Wars card game too. I'll play that. Hearing more about No Man's Sky is like No Man's Sky is kind of like my game of life right now for some reason. Like, and I'm really excited to
a lot
learn
of people
everything
were
about
kind of
that.
down on the game after
I
the
know.
Sony show. Well,
Everyone-
why are you or why do you think that is, or what's up?
Well, the Sony press conference was literally them just going out there and being like, okay, we're going to go take a look at a planet. We don't know what it is. We've never seen this planet before, but this is just kind of a vertical slice of what gameplay is going to be like. And then they just went and did it. And, I don't expect a game like No Man's Sky to show very well because it doesn't have set piece moments.
Yeah.
It's not like an Uncharted game where they have this whole big scripted set piece that looks really cool and is really visually stunning in its like cinematic presentation. But I can imagine if you play the game and you invest a lot of time into it, there are a lot of like these really organic moments and stories that'll come out of that. But that's not really something that you can just kind of like bottle and show at a trade show,
Yeah.
I'm really excited by the potential and like by the ideas behind that game. There was
Horizon?
I'll tell you right now, Horizon.
Horizon seemed like a really
Horizon
cool
is my
idea.
game.
I
of
really
show.
want to see more. Did y'all see more after?
Yeah. No. That was they.
I'm just curious as to what that game is. We've
Yeah.
seen just a small section of it.
More was shown
behind closed doors, but
to someone else, and I've heard reports that it looks really cool. Apparently,
Yeah.
it's kind of a.
I'm
more of
cautiously
an
optimistic
RPG
at the
than-
time.
That it looks.
Well, see, now I like
first.
that.
I
I like
am.
what that.
They have
sounds.
confirmed it is open world, and I've heard rumblings of like RPG mechanics and just the concept in general
Well, see, now I'm more intrigued.
looks so cool.
It does.
I walked out like that's the one thing when I think of E3 2015, my mind jumps straight to Horizon. That game looked awesome to me. But
I mean, I really liked Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Whatever. That looks potentially really good.
I can't believe that game's happening, and
Yeah.
it's coming out soon.
Yeah.
That actually did look really cool because I didn't think I would be that excited about a sequel for Mirror's Edge, but the fact that they
It's a prequel.
or you know what I mean,
Yeah.
another Mirror's Edge
Yeah.
game. Because the first one is a really cool. I feel like
Concept.
is a really cool concept. It's a really cool like
Art
tech
piece.
demo
Yeah.
for like a free running component to a full game. I never
Yeah.
felt
Like
like it
Dying
was
Light.
a full game.
This
Yeah.
is the full game that
And then
Mirror's
this
Edge
is
the
like,
demo
okay,
for.
open world game, and you're a free runner, and that's the main way you interact with the world. There isn't even really that much in the way of like gunplay or combat.
Yeah.
It's just like running and doing all this really cool parkour stuff. That seems neat.
I will say the gameplay I saw from Uncharted got me pretty excited.
Yes.
I do like that they fixed Drake's face. He's less
Yeah.
fucky looking now. He looks more kind of like himself.
Yeah.
And I just kind of liked what I saw, that at least what they showed, while it was a linear event, it wasn't as linear as previous Uncharted games have been.
Yeah.
And most Uncharted games are near and
It
chase
looks like it was
sequences.
borderline open.
They're in previous Uncharted games, they're turret sequences. You're in a car and the car's driving itself
Yeah.
90% of the time. But in this case, you were driving the car, and there were so many different paths you could take to get to your destination. I'm really hoping that the rest of the game follows suit with that, and that it's much less linear than previous Uncharted games. If they could, I know there's a limitation on Uncharted games. It's not an exploration game; it's a storytelling game. So I understand why they're linear corridors. I understand why they're just going to the story.
The one thing they did with that demo is demonstrate just how big they can make the environments now.
Yes, and that's what I'm excited for. I'm hoping for a much more open world, and I've always been an Uncharted fan. Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. That's the first HD collection I've ever pre-ordered or bought.
Is it out yet?
No, it comes out October, November, somewhere this fall. I've never bought
Wait,
an
so that's
HD
coming
collection.
out for PS4, right?
Yes, it's all the trilogy in 1080p 60 with new what's the word I'm looking for? New textures.
Oh.
There was
that'd be
some cool VR stuff that I was reading about that apparently was on the show floor.
We didn't see any.
really?
Yeah. The VR stuff all is stuff that had huge
We just
lines.
did
of
one
course.
too.
A lot of them were like, well,
Last
there
time-
was one that was a horror experience thing called The Kitchen.
Yeah.
That like I was reading about that, and people were saying like people were saying they were throwing the headset off and just like running
People
away.
were saying
they were so
like-
scared by
Like
it.
PT's a joke compared to
Yeah.
this. Is what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's because it's like you're wearing a headset and VR goggles, and it's a game that's all about like fucking with you, so you can hear this ghost like walking around, and like it ends with the ghost like snapping your neck. So you're wearing a headset, and like your head gets turned around, and there's like this fucking horrible face looking at you, and it's so disorienting because it's in VR.
Have y'all ever done like the Oculus or spent time with them?
I get super disoriented
when you
wearing
come
that
out
shit.
of it. You're like, what the fuck?
I,
Yeah.
the
Like,
only
it
time
takes, like, a
I
second,
waited in
so-
line for an hour at last year's E3 to play Alien Isolation
Dude,
with the Oculus.
The sole experience with like Oculus has been like combat simulators like flight games and like a goofy little like putt golf game, you know? And then you talk about throwing these super realistic horror experiences onto that platform. That sounds fucking terrifying.
That does, yeah.
So there was that one,
interesting.
and there was another one where apparently it actually used like a gun peripheral,
Yeah, that's the Walking Dead.
and it was a
I think.
well, this one was like a sci-fi one or something, and it was
Oh.
like it was basically like in tech demo mode. Like it was shitty graphics and like it was basically core mechanics, and they were like testing proof of concept. And like I was reading an article about this particular one, and the guy who was writing it had said before I played it, somebody else was like, if you've got a thing against spiders, don't play this game
Oh, I
because
was-
there's like these giant arachnid monsters that you're fighting. I mean, just reading these different
Fuck
stories
that.
makes me super fucking excited for VR because, like, what little I've experienced already has made me, like, a huge believer. And now, like, we're getting to the point where more people are developing their own VR platforms, more people are developing for those platforms, and, like, people are starting to pump different kind of out-of-the-box ideas into that design. And, like, in the next 10 years, you could have these ridiculously intense like gaming experiences on these VR platforms.
In fact, I mean, it's weird to think about, but like the next generation of gaming hardware might not even be boxes you sit on your.
could be headsets.
They could be headsets.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm kind of withholding my excitement until
Porn.
the technology has gotten its grip and like become widely accepted. Like once
I don't-
people are like, okay, this is normal, and everybody has this, and
Yeah.
people are like, that's when I'll be like super. pumped.
Until
But-
then, it's just the virtual.
I don't
boy.
think people look
Yeah.
at it. I think people now kind of look at it like the 3D movie thing,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
where like that was never going to be like that was always going to be a gimmick, like a sideshow.
Oh, it's super. Like my
to
TV came with
cinema.
3D glasses
Yeah.
that I used once and never again.
Because it doesn't. It is a gimmick. It doesn't
Yeah.
really add much to the experience. But these VR headsets, if the experience is tuned to that sort of medium, like these could be something that offer an experience completely different than the kind of video games that we play now.
Yeah.
That's crazy exciting.
Like Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did want to say also XCOM 2. The stuff they showed off.
Well, we all saw that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
saw it. I don't know if y'all knew, but Firaxis did a Twitch cast in which they broke down that gameplay.
Yeah, because when they were showing us, they didn't really say much.
Yeah, no. So in their Twitch stream, they broke broke down everything, and so they kind of had talked about a lot of the things in that gameplay were super fast paced. Like enemies aren't going to be taking 3 turns at a time. Like that snake creature that crawled out, snatched a guy and killed him. That would never happen. They would take one move, to crawl out, and that would end their turn.
So they were speeding it up for the sake of the
they
demo?
would take another move to do the latch on the tongue thing and grab you and then strangle you, but you have a chance to get out of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not an instant kill.
Because I
thing.
asked about that in the interview, and I was like, that seemed like bullshit.
Yeah, no, it was. In the gameplay, everything was sped up just to kind of for effect.
XCOM 2 is a game that comes out this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm fucking saying. There's too much this year.
The thing about XCOM, it's a game that's like I'm not hyped about it like I am some of these other games, but it's
When it
it's the
comes out,
one that
you're
it's
gonna
like,
be like-
unquestioned day one.
Yep.
I'll probably play it than a lot of other games this year. It's just like that's 100%. I know it's going to be amazing. So I don't
This is going to be like a pillar of your 2015 gaming experience.
Oh wow.
But yeah, and so in the stuff they showed, November. Fuck. Yeah, they talked about how enemies they won't take 3 turns, but enemy reinforcements are a thing. So if you don't finish missions quick enough, reinforcements will show up.
That's like Codename.
That's
Steam.
already
exactly.
making me like sick with anxiety.
Right? But one like the gameplay, they aren't going to show up and then just start shooting at you immediately. The throwing down of the extraction point is definitely a thing. You can kind of throw it down pretty much whenever, but you have to wait like 2 turns. Picking up downed friends is a thing. You can do it with any of them, but you can't shoot while you're carrying them. But unlike XCOM Enemy Unknown, if someone dies in combat, you don't get their shit back. Their weapons
Shit.
and stuff like that,
Like
you
everything they
have
die
to
with.
pick them up and carry them to get that shit back.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah. So
That's
you
fucked up.
can't in previous
Oh, no.
XCOM games, if they died, you just left them there and you got their special equipment.
lost
But
them
now
back.
you got to get them out if you want it back.
Does
That's
Fatal
fucked.
Frame come out this year too?
Yes, and that's part of that's a news topic that I wanted to bring up too.
Jesus.
Okay.
I'm a little pissed about it.
By the way, I mean, I guess we don't do Shameful Secrets anymore.
No.
But speaking of XCOM, and I brought up Codename Steam, both David and David Jaffe, 2 Davids in my life, have both finished and loved Codename Steam, and I'm only like halfway through. It's really kind of bumming me out.
I'm sorry. You still have plenty of time though.
Sorry, bro.
Before we move on to the news, I just real quickly wanted to bring up there was a major mechanic in Batman we forgot to mention, and that was the multi-character fighting sequences.
Oh yeah.
There's not much to that.
Not a whole
It's
lot
just
to
yet
it.
another thing you can do in combat.
One more
of the
thing.
100 things
It
you can
is
do.
really cool though how
it is
seamless
kinda-
it is.
Unfortunately, it is kind of restricted to
Specific moments.
missions and areas.
But are you sure about that? Because there is a puzzle I found, a Riddler trophy I found out in the world. Actually, it was in the footage that I recorded that clearly required 2 people because it had the colored robots. Remember?
Oh yeah.
From that one. There's one Riddler trophy where you're
Dude, I don't.
where one character could attack one color, and the other character could attack the other, and I found both colors together on top of a roof guarding a Riddler trophy.
Yeah,
So
I don't. I don't know. I mean, I keep finding Riddler puzzles all over the place where I'm like, I have no idea what I need to complete this.
That's
I guess
really
I'll come back
frustrating to
after the
me, too.
game's
Yeah.
over.
but like I'm sure once you've completed the game, like a lot of those will
Well,
make sense again.
yeah.
There you
don't
go,
know.
Nick.
Oh, they turn color by throwing batarangs. See, I didn't know that.
I
Okay.
love puzzles. I can't believe there's more puzzles in Batman than in like anything else I've played this year. I feel
Right.
like it's fucking cool. Like remember When you're in the you did the blimp stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you're like, they introduced a whole like puzzle mechanic just for that
tilting
area.
the blimp just to like move shit around.
I mean,
that was
like
crazy.
what is this game? There's more puzzles in this than Tomb Raider.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Well, he's the world's greatest detective, so it makes sense.
I wonder what would happen if him and Professor Layton went at it.
Whoa.
But why Professor Layton?
I'm pretty sure he's
like
just
Sherlock Holmes.
Professor Layton is a video game character that solves puzzles.
But he's also
but
Batman. He just
Batman
beat
is
him to death. Or I'm sorry, beat him to submission. Yeah, he'd break his neck.
I'm pretty sure Layton would sick Luke on him.
What are you talking about? Professor Layton is a good guy. Batman.
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
beat him
true.
up.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways, we don't need to spend a lot of time talking about it. I just wanted to bring it up.
The multi character takedowns and stuff like that. So I guess like in the Riddler storyline, you can do a lot of stuff with Catwoman, which I kind of like that one because it usually involves you as Batman going to a location, solving puzzles, and then switching back to Catwoman, who's at another location across the city, like working out another end of the same puzzle.
And you can switch.
Yeah, you can switch between them like on the fly. That's pretty cool. The other ones, it basically amounts to like these big brawl sequences where you'll have either Nightwing or Robin helping you fight a big gang of guys, and then like you can do these takedowns where like Batman will kick one of them up in the air, and then like Robin will hit him with his staff or something like that, and then it'll switch you into that other character. Like
it's actually like it's. The multi-character takedowns are literally just an extravagant way to switch to the other character.
Yeah. And I've done one Predator sequence where it was Batman and Robin, so they're both like swinging around in the rafters, and like you can target an enemy, like Batman will be like, Robin, take him out, and then like Robin will jump down and like take that dude out, and then you'll switch to Robin, and you have to recover from that takedown.
Interesting.
It's cool, honestly. Like when I was playing it, I was getting crazy flashbacks to the Arkham Origins multiplayer mode, because it's literally just these two guys just like jumping around in the darkness.
Funny? Like,
why is there not co-op?
You know what's funny? Like that right there might be a big reason why Arkham Origins turned out to be kind of poopy.
One of the
reasons. They spent a bunch of time working on it.
Well, the splash damage did the multiplayer.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. False alarm. Anyways, like I said, we'll revisit Batman next week. I'm sure we'll have played more of it by then. So if you still want to, if you have things that we didn't cover, or if anything, if there's anything you want us to bring up next week, I would encourage you guys to go leave it in the forum thread over at 4playernetwork.com. I'll comb through that again before the next podcast. Anyways, it's time for the news. Let's just kind of go through these fairly quickly, because we have spent a lot of time talking about other stuff. One thing, you mentioned Fatal Frame a minute ago. I wanted to just real briefly mention this. I'm sorry, I don't think I have an overlay for this. I might, but it's Fatal Frame related. Fatal Frame 5 is rumored to be releasing in the West digital only.
Wow.
Wait, for the Wii U?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, all my shit's on my phone.
Oh, crap.
Put it in airplane mode.
Put it in airplane mode. Oh, okay.
Good.
You still made me throw it across the room.
Anyways.
How about those 8 gig Wii U's?
Yeah.
Dude, why would they be... Why? Why? Like...
How are you going to download a new Fatal Frame game when you have an 8 gig Wii U with like 3 gigs of space? Yeah.
Use a USB stick.
There's no way. There's no way this rumor can pan out.
You have to use an external media source.
There's no way this rumor's going to pan out.
Just so
First of all, no one's going to buy it if they know they have to go out and buy another device just to
this
save
is probably going to be the only way we're getting it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the only way. They're not going to take the
every
risk.
other Fatal Frame in the West. I mean, except for 4, but every other. Well, I guess.
But yeah, exactly. They haven't done it since 3, and so I mean, doing it digitally is. I don't want to say free, but it's next to free compared to actually making physical discs and cases and lithographs.
But they're releasing it exclusively on a platform that is just not good at that.
Correct.
2 Fatal Frame games, actually, we haven't gotten, because they also remade Fatal Frame 2. They didn't release that over here. I think this game just doesn't sell in North America, and they don't want to put it on disc because that costs too much money.
Yeah, they don't want to risk them losing money.
Sure, I guess. It's just, it fucking sucks. That was like...
I just want to play it, but...
Yeah, I mean, if it was any other platform than Wii U, I don't think it would be a big deal, but DLC like downloads on Wii U is just...
Yup.
Needlessly painful.
I just don't want to fucking download it in general, man.
Yeah.
Fucking, I've collected every one of those games that I can buy. I hunted them down. I have the boxes that back when they were hard to find. They were like $30 or $40 a piece, and I bought all of them.
I remember that.
I had them on a fucking shelf.
Also, we need to talk about broadcasting that game because we might not even be, unless we mod a Wii pad, it might not be very broadcast friendly.
That's true. We'll figure it out. Anyways, we'll see how that pans out. What else we got news-wise?
I just wanted to talk about the Fallout Pip-Boy edition, which has been on and off sale.
Yeah,
because everyone wants it, and it's one of I don't
Dude,
often
I pre-ordered
order
it. I don't even know if I want
collector's editions, and I did.
I don't do collector's editions. I don't even really pre-order anymore. They announced that, and I was on Amazon
Dude,
refreshing
what?
every 5 seconds.
Why? Just out of curiosity, is it because you're super excited about Fallout, or this thing specifically seems cool?
Both.
Yes and yes.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes to both.
It does seem cool, especially I think they proved themselves with Fallout
I was trying to
Shelter.
explain to you earlier, and you weren't listening. But like when Fallout 3 came out, they had that edition that came with like the alarm clock Pip-Boy, which was shitty. It was like it was an alarm clock that kind of looked like a Pip-Boy, but you couldn't wear it. It didn't do anything, but had that little digital clock on it. And I remember at the time being really excited about that because I was like, "Oh my god, it's a real Pip-Boy! That's so fucking cool!" But it wasn't even really like what I thought it was. But that was the closest I was ever gonna get to a real Pip-Boy.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we made a
real
Pip-Boy app
Pip-Boy.
for a smartphone. You put it in this thing, which is a Pip-Boy, and you wear it, and it's a Pip-Boy, and it's a real Pip-Boy. You know, like. And so I was like, it's $120, and I definitely have to own that because I will hate myself if I don't.
Same.
And you know, it's. Of course, I was riding the Fallout hype. I think I even pre-ordered it like walking out of the theater. Like I was.
You motherfucker. It's $120
They did their
as
job.
opposed to $60.
If
If y'all like never play that new Tomb Raider game that comes out the next day, I mean that same day,
What, the
and then
Tomb Raider Go or the
no, the new Tomb Raider comes out the same day as Fallout.
Oh, does
so what
Brad,
I'm saying,
I'm getting all three. I'm getting all.
okay, well no, if you're getting all three, that's fine. But I'm saying like, what if like the Tomb Raider franchise just ends because everyone bought Fallout and they spent that extra $60 on an arm plastic, and now Tomb Raider's dead. That'll be profoundly sad.
That's a terrible.
If you buy all
terrible
three,
thought.
that's fine.
Oh my god.
Well,
I mean-
one of the things I wanted to say was the fact that it's going to come with like foam inserts designed for each like phone type. So people of varying phones, except for if it's bigger than like an iPhone 6.
I'm really glad. I actually just upgraded my phone, and I was trying to decide between the 6 and the 6 Plus. I just went with the 6.
Good thing you didn't go with the 6
because
Plus.
the 6
it's
Plus
too big
is not
anyway.
compatible. I would have had to go home and cancel my pre-order just because my phone won't fit in it. But I don't know, man. It's cool, and Fallout Shelter was really cool. And
that's one of the ones I was going to talk about in impressions, but I mean it's a game I've played quite a bit of. My shelter has grown quite large. I think I'm at like 170 something people in it.
Maybe we should talk about that next. Is that on Android yet?
No.
Damn it.
They very much downplayed the coming to Android soon when they meant several months.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Wait a minute.
What?
I just realized something. Like, how pissed off do you think Microsoft is at Bethesda right now?
What for?
Because, you know, they paid for this Tomb Raider exclusivity, right?
Yeah.
Like, get it a few months early if you have an Xbox. But now that it's coming out the same day as Fallout, people are like, okay, I'll wait. I'm going to be playing Fallout.
Yeah.
Like, how... now Microsoft probably doesn't even want to delay it, which would probably be the smart thing. Delay Tomb Raider.
Has that timed exclusivity been confirmed to only be a couple months?
Well,
because I have a feeling it's going to be like...
They keep saying holiday 2015 is the exclusivity. I'm
Dude,
guessing...
I would be willing to bet maybe a small amount of money that the Rise of the Tomb Raider on PS4 is going to be released like a year later as the definitive edition, like they did the last Tomb Raider.
I mean, that seems extreme.
Yeah, that does.
It depends on how much money they paid.
Yeah,
Hot dog bed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I feel like if it was a year and they had that an assigned contract, they would be like strutting around saying like you're not going to be able to.
Yeah.
They would be saying it's going to be a year, but they are specifically saying holiday 2015 as their exclusive.
Sure, you're probably right. I will probably devil's advocate.
February or March, but
what's up?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Is the PC version also not coming out this year? I'm so confused as to how all this is working.
Same here.
I wish someone would just be honest about everything that's going on.
Anyways,
just actually say it.
Crispy.
Yes.
What you got?
Well, my news topic this week was spoiled by Chris Davis because he's a poopy
Well, I
butt.
wasn't here, so talk to me, and I'll be
Okay,
excited.
so apparently, as many problems as the Batman Arkham Knight PC port is having, there is one kind of cool little mod that somebody made where you can actually play as any of the playable characters in free roam in Arkham.
Oh, wow.
Or in Gotham City.
Do they all have their own traversal methods though?
Some of them do. So any of like
Plays the
the
Batmobile.
playable characters in the game, which I don't really want to name them all because some of them might be spoilers.
Yeah, don't do that.
But at least the 4 that we know are in the game. So you can definitely play as obviously Batman, Nightwing, Robin, and Catwoman are all.
Does Catwoman still
completely-
have a ridiculous traversal like her?
Oh, that whip! I don't think they do that little.
Harley
Like
Quinn,
I'm
right?
loving
Yeah, and
Catwoman
then-
in this
and then they
game
add in-
because she's not out in the streets like climbing all over buildings looking completely stupid.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb.
It's 10 characters. So it's those 4. It's Harley Quinn and Red Hood, who actually are really cool. Their DLCs suck, though.
I heard that.
I thought we just said we're not going to spoil the rest
Well, I
of the
mean,
characters.
those are in DLC.
Those are DLC.
Yeah, and
Those
then,
are-
and
those
then there
characters
are
have their own
other
DLC, so-
characters like
Yeah.
villains and people that aren't playable that they made playable.
Ah.
Dude, I
It's
might
a
download
little-
this mod.
It is a little rough. We did already establish the spoiler.
Well, no,
Well,
don't say it now because if people skip that entire segment of the
I know what you're
podcast,
saying now.
just to
I
get to
think
hear-
everyone who was there earlier knows who you're talking about.
Okay, so that character
Uh-huh.
is playable, but he doesn't have any combat animation. Superman. So he walks, but he doesn't really like punch or anything. So when you're doing like your combat commands,
It's kind of hard to follow, maybe.
in the video, he's not even like he can't even attack. He's literally just dodging over people.
What?
Like that's it.
That's weird.
I mean, it's
It's
a
a work in
mod,
Yeah, it's a
progress
work in
mod.
but
progress
like,
mod, so yeah.
but yeah, it's like you hit F2 at any time and it toggles through different characters,
Oh, that's
which is
cool.
kind of cool.
Coolios.
I might
yeah.
install that.
Sweet. And the last thing we wanted to bring up this week, so this has been kind of floating around. Nolan North this past weekend did a panel, quote unquote, little
I sure did.
personal conversation with some fans at MetroCon, which I watched the entire thing. It was pretty cool, pretty good little chat. But he was first of all, he let a lot of things kind of slip, or maybe he didn't maybe he just doesn't care.
He didn't give a fuck. He's like, I'm Nolan North.
And just
What are they gonna
started
do without
saying
me?
things like he was like, "Oh, I already know they're working on The Last of Us 2," and then he said something along the
But
lines of,
we already knew they were working
We
on a
knew
sequel.
it was
Well,
never
I mean, but, like,
officially announced.
"Sure, but until a company comes out and says we're making this, it's unconfirmed," and like they've been very dodgy about that whole question. So he kind of talked about that, and then he also said something along the lines of, and Amy Hennig is over at EA now, and she's working on a Star Wars game that's much in the same vein as Uncharted, which we all knew she was working on Star Wars, but no one really knew what kind of style it was going to be. So he kind of confirmed that she's going over there and very much taking her Uncharted expertise and applying it to Star Wars, which is cool. But the big thing that came out of it was he was talking about the making of Uncharted 4, and someone asked him if Amy Hennig leaving Naughty Dog during the production affected the game in any significant way, and he said yes. They basically scrapped 8 months worth of motion capture performance and voice work when she left.
Wow.
Because they brought in a new team.
They brought in the Last
Well,
of Us guy.
It was
brought
also kind of rumored that Troy Baker ended up replacing a different guy.
Yeah, the brother was originally somebody different. If you watch the first Uncharted teaser, you hear
It
a
was a
voice
different
voice.
that's very kind of vengeful.
Yeah.
You know? And the idea was that was
Drake's brother.
Drake's brother.
Sam.
Yeah, Sam.
So-
which was a different voice actor.
So they brought in members of the Last of Us team to work on Uncharted 4, and I guess from what he was talking, it sounded like, structurally the game, like story-wise, is probably going to be very similar or a lot of the same beats, but they changed some things, and they, wanted to put their own kind of stamp on it a little bit, so they ended up scrapping a whole bunch of work that went into it for like 8 months.
Which, as I imagine, why Amy Hennig ended up leaving. Probably.
Maybe,
Well,
right?
the reason I don't know, because the way he was talking about it made it sound like she left, and that's when they came in, and that's when everything changed.
The rumors back then were like she left because they brought the Last of Us guys in to kind of take over. That was what the rumors were saying.
Well, the thing is, at this point, it's still all rumors. This is all literally based off an off-the-cuff comment made by Nolan North during a very casual conversation with fans. Like, it's hard. It's kind of hard. Like, still, a lot of this is still very unknown. All we know is that 8 months worth of work was scrapped for some reason.
Yeah.
And there's always obviously that question of how is it going to affect the game? Is it is it going to feel different? Is it going to feel tonally different? He seemed to be reassuring people that yes, it's still very much an Uncharted game. It's still very much the same Nathan Drake and the same character, same story kind of thing that falls in line with the series. But this team that came in changed a few things and put their own kind of spin on things,
which is sad because Uncharted was Amy Hennig's baby, right?
Yup.
And who knows what it's gonna. I guess it's gonna be darker, or maybe not as dark. I don't know. I mean, his brother Sam in the footage we saw at E3 was very different from, I guess, Sam in that first teaser.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? I mean, I'm guessing that he's probably a piece of shit who's gonna get him into some shit.
Probably.
That's just the vibe I get from him.
Same here. Yeah.
But and it is kind of sad because obviously Amy Hennig has spent a very long time with the franchise. At the same time, at the end of the day, it looks like we're going to get a pretty good Uncharted game, and we're going to get Amy Hennig spin on a Star Wars game, and that seems really exciting.
Yeah.
Because as much as I want Amy Hennig to work on Uncharted, like, she's got crazy talent that she could be applying to any franchise, new or existing. So that's cool to see her going and doing something else. But I thought it was actually a really cool watch. Like, that whole conversation was really interesting to watch, but like he was just dropping things, and like every 5 minutes I was like, maybe I don't think he should have said that. Like he was talking about like the Assassin's Creed movie and the Uncharted movie, and talking about like his conversations that he's had. He even talked very candidly about like his opinions of the Assassin's Creed franchise when he started.
Oh, really?
He kind of mapped out what was originally going to happen with Desmond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he basically said that
Shit.
every game. Like, a lot of people have kind of talked about
I
this,
need
but
to
like
watch
he
this.
was
Yeah,
like
me too.
originally every game was going to be like
More Desmond.
Desmond would come out and he would have his abilities from that character, and then the next one, the same thing would happen. It would be Desmond the entire time.
He was going to build up into
was gonna
like an
build up.
ultimate modern day assassin.
and then all of a sudden it was going to be in a Desmond game where Desmond was
just Desmond
has
as an
all the
assassin.
abilities of all the assassins that came before him.
Yeah.
But obviously the franchise took root and became something much bigger, and then they were just like, we can't end it.
When they decided to make 3 SEO games.
Yeah.
Kind of threw a wrench.
So I don't know. It was a really interesting talk. I thought it was really cool.
annualized.
So I would highly recommend watching it. It's very, it's not a very, like, watching the panel is
More
very
listening,
dry.
yeah.
It's literally just him sitting at a table talking, but like,
But I'm sure he's got some interesting things to say.
he's got, yeah. And it's very, like, he was giving very, like, he was even, like, injecting some, like, personal stuff into it, which was kind of cool to hear, so. But,
Sitting on a table, not at a table.
But like
Sorry.
you just don't like that, do you? Like the cool social studies teacher.
Yeah. No.
Move.
See, when teachers do it, I hate it too.
oh,
Brad in school, like, sit down. You sit or you stand. You don't sit on a table.
You're a
anyways, we're not here to
teacher
talk about his sitting
fraternizing.
habits. Let's talk about Community.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
You gotta give me more time. on that.
community.
I sprung that on you, Nolan, and
No,
I'm
it
terribly
would
sorry.
be fine if Google Sheets didn't take like 20 minutes to load up on a tablet.
I
It's
fuck
like
Google
ridiculous.
Sheets.
You know, speaking of Uncharted and Last of Us, like I'm pretty cool with the idea of the Last of Us guys doing Uncharted 4, only because I'm not like a big Uncharted fan, but I loved Last of Us. But I hope this doesn't mean that since they're doing a Last of Us sequel, that these guys are too busy doing Uncharted to do that Last of
maybe
Us.
sounded-
game.
it sounded-
maybe he can
sense?
be like Miyazaki and just.
It sounded to me like
From
they.
software.
I have a feeling they might share a director,
Yeah.
but like the team is kind of split, and like
Like Bloodborne and
like
Dark Souls
a lot
3.
of the people that were working on Uncharted 4 are still there working on Uncharted 4 from the beginning, but they may have just filled the gaps with the people that left with Amy Hennig, with people from the Last of Us team.
Okay, shut up. I'm ready now.
Sorry.
Okay. Yay, community. Yay. All right, so patrons. We got a lot of new patrons since our last broadcast of a podcast.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's
been about 3
so
weeks.
let's go through a chunk of them.
Really, only a chunk?
Yeah. There's more than 10.
Thanks for supporting, guys.
Yeah.
Have I not been getting emails?
We appreciate it. Brian R, Alex Q, Michael B, Jordan D, Chad B, Mr. Oblivion, I guess. It's Moblin. Yeah.
Good guess.
Justin K. Maximus.
Maximus? He's a chat. I recognize that chat name.
Not Neil S. Niall? Niall?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah. And Travis C. So thanks, guys, for supporting us and becoming patrons.
Yep, thank you guys very much. If y'all want to learn more about our Patreon campaign, please visit us at patreon.com/4Player.
Yeah, do that. And while you're there, if you become a patron, you can ask us questions that we answer on the podcast. So the first question this week comes from Michael, who asks, what is the best game that you guys have played that had the best underwater exploration / mechanics you have seen in a video game?
Look at Brad's face light up.
Original Tomb Raider.
You know,
still the best.
Still, one of the most memorable moments for me was Tomb Raider Underworld, when that opening sequence where you're swimming down into the depths and there's sharks, too, and that was cool.
You can breathe underwater.
One of mine most memorable is very recent, and that's Subnautica. The beta that I played of that.
I will play that game if it ever comes out.
I would say wait. But man, just like collecting shit and then like building, and all of a sudden at one point you have a fucking like giant submarine that just like it eventually just happens, and it's fucking glorious. And I haven't played it in several months because it's so beta.
I'm waiting.
But I mean, I was following the developer's blog for a while, showing like building underwater like stations.
Yeah.
Like building tunnels and tubes and pods and like, oh my god.
See, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had enough really memorable experiences. Like, more often than not, underwater swimming to me in games is annoying and frustrating.
Usually kind of poopy.
It's really
usually
bad.
Not well done.
I actually agree with Chris Davis. Mario 64
That's what I was
had some good moments.
Up there.
But yeah, more often than not, like The Witcher swimming is so bad.
Oh, it is very
Wait, when's
bad.
the last time you played The Witcher? They patched it.
Like a week ago.
It's a lot better now.
Oh, really?
I mean, still.
Are you still completely fucked if like drowners show up?
Well, you just gotta use your crossbow. It does a ridiculous amount of damage.
Oh, does it?
Underwater.
Have you not been using it?
Dude, I have been.
Dude,
I can't hit anything with it.
in the area I'm in now.
Oh, you have to lock onto them.
In the area I'm in now, they have like these like dragon type creatures. Well, I forget what they call them, but they're like fly through the air and they'll dive down into the water
Sirens?
and start fighting. Yeah,
Wyverns?
sirens.
Sirens.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, there are sirens.
Well, they call them sirens, but I mean,
Oh
that's
yeah,
not what
they're
people-
not. They're not exactly sirens.
They look kind of like dragons.
Yeah, but yeah, later on, when you start encountering sirens, when you're in the water, they're not just in the water. They fly above and they'll dive down, dive bomb you, and then be underwater attacking. It gets fucking clusterfucky. All right, next question from Sean. What's your fuck yeah moment in video games? Moments that made you jump out of the chair because the game just got super awesome. An example for me is when the lyrics kick in for the boss battle music in Metal Gear Rising. There's been a lot of moments like that for me.
One of mine is when Nick defeated the Asylum Demon for the first time.
Oh yeah, he literally did say that when Chris was standing over my shoulder playing Dark Souls for the
literally
first
jumped
time.
out of the chair and went, ah!
That was it. By the way, I'm gonna go back. I've officially committed to playing Dark Souls 1 and 2 before 3 comes out.
Nice.
I bought Dark Souls 1
He
on
said
Steam.
it. Hold him to it.
You know, this always
You better install the make it better.
you'll have to show me that.
Okay.
This always sticks out in my head, but it's been a long time since this moment probably doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
But the original Devil May Cry at the very end when you're fighting Mundus, and the very after the stupid
When you're flying through space?
No, after the stupid flying through space thing, and then he's just this like giant face that's like falling apart or whatever, and then he just like I think Trish shoots some like lightning at him or whatever and charges him up, and then he just takes both of his guns and points them at him, and then you get to pull the triggers, and you pull the trigger and this like huge beam flies out of the guns and just like blows him to shit. Like that moment was fucking great. It was fucking great. But to be honest, I haven't seen it in probably over a decade, if not more.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't hold up
I
as well.
should have been no on the failure Dark Soul with light.
Yeah, that was terrible.
There's been a few games that have given me like fuck yeah moments, like completing my armor set in Shadow Complex.
Oh yeah.
And then just fucking that one time when you run up speed, when you start running across the fucking lake in that game, you get like a little sonic boom, and you're running through rooms just fucking knocking dudes out of the air.
That was cool. That was cool.
Another one was is another power armor type thing from Saints Row. When you get the power armor at the end of the game, at the end of what is that, 3 or is that 4?
You definitely get power armor in 4.
I don't know.
Could
be both.
I think it's into 3 when it starts. The you've got the power song.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's 4.
You've got the touch. Yeah, that's 4.
It's 4. I can't remember. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But that was fucking awesome. Oh yeah, that is. I was thinking because you don't have superpowers, that's because you're not in
Because I
the
remember
Matrix
in
or
4,
whatever.
there's like the whole moment where your character's like, "Oh my god, it's fucking power armor."
Yeah, dude, that was so fucking awesome. I don't know. There's been a lot of.
I have
There's a lot
not
of
said
those
a
moments.
fuck yeah moment.
Okay, let's hear it.
I had a pretty good one today when I realized what they were doing with a certain side quest in Witcher 3, and it was a great callback to a great story from a really cool book, and like it was just the realization that like, man, these guys know how to do it. Remember all the disaster with Dragon Age Inquisition going from the books to the game, and just me with my hands in the air going, why did you fuck this up? Witcher 3 does it right, and it was fucking cool, and that's a really great game. Also, like in Final Fantasy Tactics, when I steal all the Genji gear, that's a fuck yeah moment.
All right.
I've had a lot of those moments with Arkham Knight so far, just saying.
Next question from Landon. In the past, many of you have mentioned that you don't often play multiplayer games for various reasons, but at least one of you, Brad, said you would buy Battlefront. Do you mind elaborating?
I think we
Wait, say that question again?
No.
He said,
Well, then I can't answer.
he said most of us have said
us-
that we don't play many multiplayer games for whatever reason, but at least one of us has committed to buying Battlefront.
Yeah.
And he wants to know the reasoning behind that.
Because
What
I
the
mean,
reasoning
I'm
behind
a-
why we don't play?
Well,
Both,
why
I
we're
think.
making an exception for
Why
Battlefront,
don't-
maybe?
because Battlefront seems really fucking
Well, because
cool.
they should have had this sequel years ago.
Well, I mean,
I wasn't completely sold on Battlefront until I played it.
Well, I mean, I was
I mean,
because
Seeing some of the gameplay looks fucking awesome.
I
Yeah,
used,
but it was, the fact that it's all multiplayer, just, it takes a lot to convince me to spend money on a multiplayer focused game. And what I played at Battlefront was fucking awesome.
Well, I used to be.
There were a lot of fuck yeah moments.
I used to play a lot of multiplayer games.
Yeah, I used to be way more into
before I started
multiplayer
broadcasting, and this one seems exciting because it's Star Wars, and I really like Star Wars. I just
There's a lot of nostalgia.
There's a lot of bad Star Wars games, and
Well, there's a lot of nostalgia for Star Wars. There's a lot of nostalgia for Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is one that we kind of like. If you're a fan of the other two games, it's been so long that you're kind of just obligated to check it out. To see if it's going to be good. And the stuff they were showing at E3 looked awesome.
Dude,
I mean, I think going back to the first part of his question, I think one of the reasons a lot of us don't play multiplayer games is we don't have the time.
Yeah.
It's a time commitment.
It is. Maybe if we weren't a part of this site and we weren't trying to, play so many games and keep up to speed, like maybe if I wasn't part of the internet and I didn't know about how many fucking great games are coming out, I just think back to when I was a kid and I knew all of like 4 games. You know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't know all of the games that were out there. And so it was much more easier to devote your time to a certain game because that's all you knew.
I would be more
realistically,
like.
oh, go ahead.
I'd be more like my roommate Campbell and just dump 500 hours into Heroes of the Storm.
Exactly. Like when I was like high school, like young high school, whenever it was, like StarCraft. It's like all I fucking played.
Yeah.
But that's because that's all I knew. I only knew StarCraft.
my most played game of all time is multiplayer, technically.
Yeah.
Realistically, at any given time, any one of us is probably trying to juggle 3 or 4 games.
At least.
So that's
one of the main
kind of the
reasons.
short answer.
Yeah.
Anyways, next question.
Next question from Miklopa.
Miklopa.
If you were a scum developer and wanted to milk as much money out of your fan base as possible, what would you do? I would make a video game with horrible controls and sell new control schemes as add-on content.
Oh, God.
Miklopa.
Oh, God.
I would.
So do I have to picture myself as being like scummy
Dude,
in
you
this
know
scenario?
what? You know what I would do? I would make an MMO, and I would have these like cataclysm events every once in a while in the MMO, where like some kind of energy wave sweeps across the world and like takes everyone's power and like really cool gear away from them, and they can either grind super hard to get back all the stuff they've already
Or
earned,
they can pay.
or they can pay to use a machine that zaps it all back into them.
Or just pay for some kind of armor that makes them immune to the effects of it
Or
or
they
something.
can pay for like immune or like, oh my god, yeah, if there was like an MMO that had like some sort of zombie mechanic to it and you had to pay real money for like an antitoxin to keep from turning into a
that would be
zombie.
the good thing, is that like when this cataclysm comes, if you're not immune at the time, you can't do anything about it.
You
But
have to-
you have to pay for this thing to
It's
make you
more-
immune, but the thing you pay for is timed. So it'll only last so long.
Yeah, so you have to keep paying for it.
Yeah.
And then like to pay to get your shit back if you lose it is way more expensive.
Yeah.
Like,
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
That is scummy. I don't know, I can't think of
I'd
it.
hire someone to stand outside of a GameStop and beat people and like knock up people's kneecaps if they try and trade my game in.
That's one way to do it.
Oh,
So
what are
maybe-
you trading in? Oh, I just got.
I would. I don't know. I know. I would make a game where the default outfits are so fucking lame and shitty, and then I would sell all these cool looking outfits.
Oh, like,
and I would call it Tales of whatever, and I'd become rich.
Tales of cool outfits.
There you go. Alrighty. Our next final question comes from Alexander. What do you think of highly rated games of the last generation, i.e., Red Dead Redemption, Last of Us, Dark Souls, Borderlands? Do you think these games will stand the test of time?
That's good. That's a
Well, it
Borderlands.
depends on what you're talking
Yeah.
about. I
Yeah.
think Red Dead Redemption definitely will.
Sure.
Yes.
Definitely.
Last of Us, yes.
That question in and of itself is difficult to answer.
But they're
because
not.
it
Yeah, they're just
varies.
asking in general. I don't know if they're asking which games we think would stand the test of time.
I think most quote unquote AAA games these days are probably going to be pretty good at standing the test of time.
To an extent.
To an extent.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, I think certain games, like thinking of some of the Grand Theft Autos, even like maybe Grand Theft Auto 4. Like honestly, like the story's kind of meh. Like the gameplay is okay, but I mean, if I had to choose one right now, I would choose 5 over 4.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Because 5 plays a lot better. I would say the games that are not going to stand the test of time are the ones that try to they care more about looks at the sacrifice of gameplay.
Exactly.
So like maybe that first Assassin's Creed cared so much more about looking smooth and not playing smooth. But in 20 years from now, when that looks like shit by anybody's standards, you're going to wish that game played better.
Yeah.
And it's not going to because they cared more about the look.
And honestly, that game, because it comes out on a yearly basis and it's literally incrementing on its own gameplay, like there are going to be some games in that franchise that fixed a lot of problems, and because of that, they will stand. Like maybe they fixed more problems than they created new mechanics, and therefore that game in particular will stand the test of time better than the sequel, which maybe tried to introduce a bunch of mechanics and maybe dropped the ball.
That's kind of always been the case in a lot of situations where, stylized games definitely last longer.
Yeah.
Like Wind Waker.
When they play well. Something like, Shadow of the Colossus, which by any means does not look good. I mean, for when it came out, yes, it looked good. But looking at it now, it's so fucking like the edges, and it's just not very pretty.
Artistically, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
still.
no. So it has a good artistic look. It looks beautiful.
But technically speaking,
It looks bad, but it plays good. And so that's one of the things where I think that's a type of game that would stand the test of time.
You know what doesn't stand the test of time usually? Like racing games.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Any
They
kind
just
like
slowly
like,
get better.
like sports games. Like those
Sports games, well, some,
to an
for
extent.
the most part, in the grand scheme of things, I feel like, sports games will get better. But the problem with sports franchises is
They're
since they
yearly,
annualize
yeah.
them, they often fumble. But no pun intended. They often strike out with shitty versions and.
But a strike is good in bowling.
Damn it, Nolan.
oh god!
All right. Well, if you were a patron, be sure to go check out our activity feed and ask questions that we'll answer on the podcast.
I usually post the questions on the Sunday prior to the show. So Sunday nights you can go and you can post your questions. If we don't get to you, we can only answer a certain number of questions per week.
Yeah.
So feel free to post your question the following week.
Also, if you're a supporter, please watch my top 5 hidden gems of E3 2015.
Yeah,
if you don't
go
know
watch
how
it.
to access that video, ask someone in chat.
It's June 30th, which means it's Nick's birthday. Yeah. Also, it is the last day in June.
Oh, Nick H0630.
30 days has September, April, June, and November.
Shut up, Brad.
Calendar man.
I always use like the knuckle thing.
Really?
Podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast, Nolan.
Have you never done that before?
I just know the thing.
Oh, I don't know the
rhyme.
What's the
thing.
knuckle thing?
Well, it's the big knuckles are the months with 31 days in between
January,
your knuckles.
February,
Yeah.
March, April, May, June, July,
But-
August.
No.
Oh, there's no rest of the year.
You gotta go back, but you do the last one twice.
August, September, October, November, December.
Oh my God, guys! Podcast.
Yeah, anyway.
killing me.
And so, last day of the month, and our supporter of the month this month was Burning Hunter
Burning Hunter
from
Burning.
California. His game of choice
we
was
need to
Fallout
choose a new
3
one.
or New Vegas. I think Nick played some New Vegas. I've been playing a lot of
I
Fallout
did play some
3.
New Vegas. I would have played more if it wasn't for E3.
Yeah, that's true. So pretty soon we're going to be picking a new supporter of the month. And if you would like to be supporter of the month, all you have to do is support us.
Either via
Not emotionally, more financially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Support us like a brawl.
Either
Yeah.
support us on Patreon at the $5 tier or on Twitch, and you will be automatically entered to become Chatter of the Month. Chatter of the
Nope.
subscribe.
Try again.
Supporter of the month.
There you go.
God, I can't say it.
It's been a while since we've done one of these.
Yes.
But now it is time for Chatter of the Week.
I miss podcasting.
This is the part of the show where we pit two chatters against each other in all out brawl of how fast they can destroy a T-Rex pinata. Yep.
By the way,
Nick would have lost.
Never mind.
Our first chatter this week is Nick M.
Oh. He wins.
Smelly Jelly in chat
Smelly
from West
jelly.
Palm Beach, Florida. I'm sorry.
Florida?
Florida's lame.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
His shameful secret. Growing up super poor, my parents were unable to buy my brother and I
Just stop right there. They were unable to purchase my brother.
the games that would go on to become iconic series. Because of how poor we were, I became pretty apathetic towards video games and missed out on the following series growing up. Zelda, Final Fantasy, Super Mario Brothers, Metroid, Castlevania, Silent Hill, and many more. So it's a shame as he missed out on
That
those.
is a shame.
Hey, you can still play them now.
You should be ashamed of yourself
You
for
can
being
play 'em
poor
right
and
now.
unable to afford video games. Hey, they're not cheap.
Oh, yeah, you can, yeah. It's true. Greatest gaming achievement. When I was 8, my aunt and uncle threw a birthday party for my much older cousin. During his party, my cousin and his friends set up Super Smash Brothers tournament, and as a joke, pit me against the worst player in his group of friends. I won with Kirby, knowing that it was a total fluke. I pretended to be sick before the next match and left undefeated. So that's his.
He played one match
Yeah, but he won,
and he left undefeated.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's true.
so he's undefeated.
It's true. And it's, you know.
His top 5 games of all time, number 5, Metal Gear Solid.
3.
3. Because he didn't play the earlier ones.
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid.
All right.
Peace Walker.
Oh.
What?
You were all wrong!
This person's whack.
I thought you've been trying
He
to.
couldn't afford the earlier ones,
No, that
Brad.
game is cool,
You
but
can tell
it's
me to
not,
play
it's
that one.
not the best.
Portable Ops. That's what I like.
Well, no one prefers portable ops.
Get out of here, Nolan.
His number 4 game of all time is Halo.
I'm gonna go with Halo Reach. I'm just gonna say something random. Reach.
Halo 3.
I'm gonna go with 2.
2.
You already said 3. Stupid.
No, I said 2.
You said 3.
I said
stupid.
2.
Halo 3.
Ah, no!
You really are stupid.
I'm just kidding. It was Halo 2.
Yay! I'm a winner.
You
Really?
still lose. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Number 3 game of all time is Yakuza.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna go with 2. I think 2's the best one.
I've never played them, so I can't tell you.
People like 4.
Crispy. 3, 2,
Of
1,
which
go.
series?
Yakuza.
Pay attention.
I don't even know what that is.
Yakuza
Wrong.
Dead Souls.
Yakuza 4. His number 2 game of all time is Metal Gear Solid.
Oh,
3.
3, yeah.
3.
3.
If he likes Peace Walker a lot, he probably likes 3.
Metal Gear Solid.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yep.
I'm
Portable
confused.
And his number 1 game of all time is Mass Effect.
2.
3.
Duh.
No, don't say 3.
1.
No one's ever said 3.
Please tell me no one. Please tell me it's
what?
3.
Mass Effect.
Yay!
It's always Mass Effect.
Yep. And this week, Smelly Jelly is up against John Villanova 12 in chat.
No!
Villanova 12
From LA, California.
Hey, we were just there. Why didn't you come to our E3 meetup?
Right? What
bro?
a dick, Villanova.
Dude.
Speaking of,
Dick, he loses!
his shameful secret. Back in the old days of the Xbox 360, the old days, what?
Oh, God.
When I was a wee little
That's
lad.
why he doesn't have a driver's license.
I don't
yet.
want to hear his top 5.
When I was a wee little lad, I did not own a personal computer,
I like blobs too.
sorry, I'm sorry.
and I was going through puberty. Since I couldn't watch porn when I needed it, I had to find an alternative. I was playing GTA 4, and with the GTA, that means lap dances from strip clubs.
No, play like Soul Calibur,
I
Dead or
jerked
Alive or
off
something.
to have
right?
naked 3D female models.
See, those are lame. You go fighting game because they have the
But that's-
highly detailed models with
But
the
that's
breast
all he
physics.
had,
Jigglies.
Brad.
Yeah.
That's all he had.
Get that Taki Jill.
Taki.
Villanova's greatest gaming achievement: 100%ing Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. I was a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed series.
Well, I mean, those are the ones.
Those
to
are the
do.
best 3 to do it in. Yeah.
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 There you go.
I'd say anything past that, don't bother 100%ing it.
Top 5 games of all time. Number 5, Sly Cooper.
4?
No, it's the first one. if Sly Cooper's gonna make someone's top 5, it's the first
Isn't
one.
the first one Thievius Raccoonus?
Yes.
Yes. By the way, I have that HD collection, and I've wanted to play it for so long.
Sly Cooper 2.
Fuck. Well, I mean, 2's cool too. Fuck the Sly Cooper collection just because you can't invert the y-axis.
Well, why would you ever want to do that, you fucking
you're
monster?
Yeah, that is true.
Because it's
gross,
it's
Brad.
fucking 2015.
His
that's
number
why.
4 game of all time is Grand Theft Auto.
4.
4.
Probably 4.
Friends don't let
But
friends
5
play
is so much
inverted.
better than 4.
4. His number 3 game of all time is Gears of War.
Oh.
Judgment?
Wait, is this
Since he's so young.
2?
Nah, that's the first one.
2.
Gears of War 3.
What?
Okay. I was too young to play the first one.
His number 2 game of all time is Assassin's Creed
Black Flag.
Brotherhood.
2, I hope.
Brotherhood.
2.
What the fuck?
And his number 1 game of all time
That's most people's favorite.
is Call of Duty.
Are you serious? Wait.
Blops 2.
Wait.
4?
Whoa,
Modern Warfare?
Wait, this is number 1?
It's Modern Warfare. Come on.
I hope. Maybe it's Modern Warfare 2.
Just say Blops 2 so I can get the blue
Call
job.
of Duty 4.
Modern Warfare.
Modern
okay,
Warfare.
he picked the right. If he was gonna put a Call of Duty on there, he picked the right one, I think.
He says, I've been watching and listening to you guys since podcast 160.
Nice.
I guess that was the day he was born. I still remember Brad hates vanilla.
Yeah,
Everyone hates
fuck
vanilla.
vanilla. Everyone hates vanilla.
Oh my god.
Except Faust. Faust likes
We're
vanilla.
so sorry,
more
Villanova.
than
I think, for me, it's just Villanova's thing of when I played 360 when I was a wee little lad.
Dude.
Hey, Faust, who's better, vanilla?
Apparently, he was a wee little lad 10 years ago.
It's possible.
I guess is possible.
So maybe he's like 20 now.
Hey, we're not completely unappealing to that demographic, I can assure you.
I want to know who Faust thinks is
Dude.
better, Vanilla or Terra?
Nick
from Final
just hit
Fantasy VI.
30.
No, I didn't.
He's not 30.
No, I didn't.
Brad's joining AARP next year.
I did not hit.
Yeah,
By the
yeah.
way, I did not hit 30.
Well, what did you hit?
29.
Okay.
What is it like? Oh, 29. You might as well be at 30.
29 is might as well start shopping for a coffin. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
God damn it.
Or start shopping for a gun and a single bullet.
Oh.
I don't think you even buy single bullets.
Yeah, it's
Not
not
in
like
Texas.
it's not like buying a cigarette in New York. They don't do Lucy's. Like,
Wait, can you do that in New York?
I don't know. It might be legal.
Oh my
I
god.
don't think you can.
But if
I
you
mean,
go- but
could
if you go
just-
to a
you could
bodega,
pay a
I'm sure
random
you can-
guy, yeah, like, hey, I'll buy a cigarette from you.
Well, who wins, guys?
So once again, we had Smelly Jelly, who hadn't played a bunch of classic games.
And had to grow up in Florida.
Yep, he undefeated in Super Smash Brothers. His top 5 games were Peace Walker, Halo 2, Yakuza 4, Metal Gear Solid, and Mass Effect. Up against Villanova, who jerked it to Grand Theft Auto strippers. 100% of Assassin's Creed Ezio trilogy. His top 5 games were Sly Cooper 2, Grand Theft Auto 4, Gears of War 3, Assassin's Creed 2, and Call of Duty 4.
I'm going to go with Smelly Jelly.
You know, You know, I feel like
I'm gonna go with Smelly Jelly for the Florida struggle, and for the fact that he quit while he was on top, and I respect that.
I'm gonna go with Villanova just because I feel like we had a lot of fun with that one, and I feel bad.
All right, congratulations, Smelly Jelly. You were this week's Chatter of the Week.
I tried.
If you would like to be Chatter of the Week, all you got to do is go to 4Player.com, click on the big Chatter of the Week button, enter in your dibbly doobly doops, and you too could be Chatter of the Week.
You could, and it's very easy. You can do it from your phone now too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I think it's time to wrap up the show, as we always do, with the 4-player minute. So we're going to say something we are hyped about, our sweat, our shameful secret, and our fuck you. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Hype, sweat, thank you, and fuck you of the week. Before we do that, I do want to quickly bring up a couple things. We are on SoundCloud now. So if you would like to subscribe to the show, maybe you hate iTunes. I know a lot of you hate iTunes.
Oh, iTunes.
You can find us on SoundCloud, by the way. It's soundcloud.com/4pp. Follow us there. I'll put all the shows up day and date with the iTunes show, which is usually Thursday morning. Also, these are brand new microphones. Let us know how you feel about them. Let us leave in the comments, tweet at us, whatever. Just let us know what you think. It might take a few episodes where we get them tweaked and working just right, but let us know what you think. And now I think Brad,
I'm ready.
Is ready.
My 4-player minute. What's the 4-player minute, Nick? It doesn't matter.
Just go,
Drink
Brad.
a glass. Shut the hell up. All right. I have 4 fuck yous. These are sort of my post E3 fuck yous that I didn't get to say fuck you enough at E3. My first fuck you goes to Nintendo because what the fuck is fucking Metroid Prime Federation fucker? Man, fuck. God fucking damn it, man.
I think you may have hit the quota on the number of fucks we can drop in one episode.
I talked to David over the weekend, and he was like, that doesn't bother me. Fucking, so secretly fuck you too, David, because you're crazy. Oh my God. My other fuck you goes to Ubisoft, because where the fuck is Beyond Good and Evil 2? Actually, we heard shortly after E3 that it's not in active development. Somebody at Ubisoft.
Didn't they say,
it.
Michel Ancel basically left the project already? I thought I read that. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but yeah, so fuck you guys, man. Fucking you and your little Tom Clancy bro shooters. They're fuck yous. They're supposed
the
to be
category
fuck
is called fuck you, Nick.
Yeah, I know. But
fuck you to Microsoft for also killing Phantom Dust, because they also said that Phantom Dust is not in active development, and but it's on hiatus. They're still looking for a developer.
They're going forward.
No, it's gone. It's gone. Fuck you for not just owning up to it and saying, hey, we're not doing that anymore because we know it's not going to make us any money. And we know we were trying to, give you some goodwill about Microsoft back when everyone was hating on us. We announced Phantom Dust.
just one more fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, Microsoft. Just own up to it. Just like Konami did. Konami usually gets my fuck you, but at least they said, you know what? We're not going to pull your dick anymore. PT's canceled. It's time to move on.
They were like,
start the grieving process. Move on. They didn't fucking string us along. Fuck
For
you,
long.
Microsoft. Also, you know what? Fuck you, Capcom, because your E3 representation sucked balls. Okay,
Yep,
where's all your fucking games, Capcom? You have all these fucking great franchises. Please don't go the way of Konami.
Yeah.
Where the fuck was Dragon's Dogma Online? Why was that not at E3? If you don't bring that to the West, I will kill myself.
What the fuck is Deep
Live
Down?
on camera. No, I'm just kidding. But I will be really sad. Where's Dragon's Dogma? Where's Deep Down? Stop. Showing us all these cool games and just saying nope. If you are not at TGS with some cool shit, I will be really sad. Like maybe a Resident Evil game. That'd be nice.
Oh my God,
That'd be
Brad.
nice. Where's Resident Evil? Anyways, those are my fuck yous for the week.
Fuck.
That's it.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Brad. Nolan.
The hate train.
My 4-player minute just now. My hype is moving. Week after next.
Woo!
I'm pretty excited. New place, much closer to Austin.
Closer to Austin. Nowhere
Closer to
near
me.
Fuego.
Yeah, definitely, I'll be closest to Nick out of everybody.
We
like
can be buds
15
again.
minutes from Nick's house.
Practically roommates again.
Yep. Again, I'll just stop by whenever I want.
I'll give you a key.
I'll throw little pebbles at his window.
We'll trade keys.
Yeah.
Ew.
I am
Wait a
always
minute.
moving. But the reason I've been moving recently is because for Bernadette, she got a job in San Antonio, doing a residency. But now she actually has a big pharmacist job at a hospital up north.
Fuck
she's
yeah.
basically going to
The
be
big bucks.
my sugar mama now.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's a sugar mama.
No, not even gonna lie. She's making a lot more than me now.
Nolan's gonna go full time for the site now. Just gonna broadcast. Every day.
Nolan's what they call a trophy husband.
Exactly.
Let's just change the name of our channel to Rolling with Nolan and just it's 24 hours a day, Nolan.
The one thing that sucks about it is for a while she's gonna be working a later shift, like 3 p.m. to 11 p.m.
More Batman time. I'm sorry.
Well, that's kind of, I'm sad about it because I'll see her less.
Yes, yes.
She does make more because she's working that later hour, but that's like prime time for like broadcasting and doing site stuff. So I will have a little more free time.
And he's also sad because we can't stop at Fuego anymore on the way to his house.
No more Fuego.
Oh, man, that you know what? And my girlfriend doesn't go to school in San Marcos anymore, so that's probably I'll probably never eat Fuego.
We should
literally
just
no
open up
reason.
a fucking Fuego.
No, guys, we could always stop on our way to
Franchise.
PAX South.
We could
Once a year.
Once a year.
We should franchise. All right, my sweat goes to this goddamn fucking year. There are too many good games coming out this year. And I realize it's a first world problem. And I realize it should be good. But I mean, there's just so many good games. And it's frustrating because I want to play them all. I want.
Hallelujah.
This is going to fucking turn into last year. The end of last year, I was kind of rushing to beat games. This year's going to be so much worse. I honestly don't think I'm going to beat half the games that come out this year that I want to.
Hey.
Especially because a bunch of them, Fallout, XCOM, Metal Gear, those aren't like 10-hour games. Those aren't 10-hour games. Those are at least 100-hour games each.
Hey, the good news is you have like a whole month in July to pretty much clean up and finish anything.
This
that you
next
have.
month I need to wrap everything up.
Damn.
My thank you goes to Todd Howard for just his Bethesda
dropping all those
conference.
mics, man.
And he just did it so non-fucking-chalant too. Like he knew, he knew it was coming.
Just had a big bag of mics and just kept dropping.
Right? Oh my god! Just like thank you so much for that. Oh my god! It just kept getting better.
He was all feeling it too. He's like, I'm gonna,
Yeah.
you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna say fuck on stage.
Right? Did he say fuck or did he say shit?
He said fuck.
Nice, nice, Todd
He
Howard.
said fucking awesome. Or
And
something.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's like,
he was
isn't
like-
that fucking awesome?
I think he just got into it. He's like, you know what?
yeah.
That's fucking
He's like,
awesome.
I'm the coolest guy in the world right now.
Yeah, he was. Is. And then my fuck you goes to IO Interactive for that goddamn Hitman bullshit cinematic not showing us anything. Like, everyone was like, oh, yeah, Hitman, I'm so excited. That showed us nothing of the game.
Nope.
And the gameplay is what I'm worried about. I don't care if it fucking looks pretty. I want it to play like Blood Money.
Well, I mean, they showed a gameplay trailer.
they
There was just
also
not much-
the interviews they did talked about it, but
So the interviews are more hopeful, but it's I really wish they would have shown more gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things we had talked about was that Absolution was a very much more linear game. It kind of had like a progressive story, whereas Blood Money was just a bunch of random shit. But he's a hitman. He does a bunch of random shit for money. Yeah. Why do you need some flowing story throughout each mission? Just a bunch of random fucking missions doing your job.
That was a shit story anyway.
But that's they're saying that this new one's going to be more like Blood.
And I hope it is, because if it is, yes. If it isn't, that comes out December 10th.
Yeah, I know.
no,
God damn
I'm
it.
excited.
You know what? Does it? You know what? Never mind. I'll talk about that in my 4-player minute.
Yeah, fuck you to IO for doing
Dude,
early access.
Fucking hate
Thanks, Brad,
man.
for
damn it,
stealing my
Brad.
thunder.
You're the worst.
Man.
Get out of
Brad.
your house.
Yes. Oh. Nolan, was that your?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay,
Crispy?
so my sweat is for Witcher 3 because I didn't get nearly far enough in that game before I started playing Batman, and Batman's my life
Show
now,
your true
so-
colors, huh?
Oh, what? That I like Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Surprise, surprise.
Really hiding that one, wasn't I? Ha ha.
Gotcha, bitch.
My fuck you for the week goes to those pre-order DLCs for Batman, though, because I actually thought that Harley Quinn and Red Hood were both fun to play as. Red Hood is a little OP. He's kind of insta-win because he literally has a button that's just like shoot guns and kill people, like, which is weird for a Batman game, but it's Red Hood, so it makes sense. And Harley Quinn, her style is much more like aggressive and going forward. Like if you try to be stealthy like Batman, it doesn't work out. But if you use her like rage mode and her bullet dodge and like just attack people, it actually makes a hell of a lot of sense, and it was really cool. But it took me 40 minutes to play both of those DLC story packs, which is ridiculous. I really wish there was more meat on those bones, you know? Like, those are cool characters and you don't really get to do anything with them. My thank you goes to Bethesda for finally making the Pip-Boy and Fallout 4.
And
everything.
the game just looks
Yeah,
awesome.
and I guess Fallout 4 too, that's cool.
Dude, I mean, if what Carlos had brought it up earlier, and that's something I had talked about a few weeks ago, but if you can access your menu via the Pip-Boy app without pausing the game, that would be pretty fucking cool.
Yep,
almost like a Zombie U experience where you can't like you know shit can still be going on while you're accessing, but it's almost more realistic. I don't know.
You have to like chug a bunch of rad water.
Yeah, rad away.
Well, I mean,
rad
like
water would make you
radiated water.
radiated.
Yeah. Well, it's all you have.
I guess
it's
so.
early in the game. You
Yeah,
don't really
that's
have
true.
many stim
Focus,
packs.
guys. Focus.
My hype goes for collector's editions because I don't buy collector's editions, and this year I'm getting 2. I've already bought and paid for. I've already paid for the Metal Gear Solid 5 collector's edition.
Dude, that one looks kind of like
And
butt.
Yeah, but
like-
think of all the pictures of the
looks
Metal
so
Gear
cheap.
hand
You see the
wrapped around.
pictures?
Shut up, because I'm also getting the Pip-Boy edition of Fallout 4, which means when I get them both, I'm going to combine them. I'm going to make the hand wear the Pip-Boy.
The hand's in
And
a
it's
tiny
going to
hand.
be...
Yeah, it's a tiny hand.
It's gonna
It's
be the
going to be amazing!
It's gonna be the ultimate mantelpiece.
It's a tiny shriveled hand.
I can't wait. It's like a little red robot hand wearing a Pip-Boy, and it's going to be incredible! I can't wait.
All right.
And I'm sure the games will be fun, too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Crispy, for that. My fuck you of the week, as Brad spoiled for you, for everyone, is
What was your
Hitman.
Oh.
Hitman sounds really cool. It sounds really cool. It looks really cool. But what the fuck is this whole early access thing that they're doing? Like, the game is essentially releasing on December 10th, but it's an incomplete product, and they're going to release. So it's coming out
it's
as
gonna be like episodic.
but it's a digital release, and they're going to be tweaking gameplay and making changes to it based on player feedback from the original. So, like, the game, essentially, mechanically speaking, is not done on December 10th.
Well, there's some mixed reports about that.
Well, even so, fuck you for not being clear about it.
But they definitely say they're looking at like player feedback, so that has to
Second of
play
all-
more into than just like levels that they put out.
Second of all, right from the get-go, if they tell me that there's a physical retail version of the game, I'm going to wait for that. I don't want to, like, if I can pay for individual missions, like, I'll pay $5.
Nick, I think you should just probably double dip because they're saying that there's going to be
Well, of course
there's going to be missions that are like
course I'm
only
gonna-
temporary.
Of course I'm going to double dip.
Oh.
My point is, fuck them for making me do that.
Dipsticks?
Yeah.
No.
Dip. You
Isn't
like
it-
lick the stick and you...
Yeah, and then you have like the powder, like
Well, it's
whatever.
fun. It's called Fun
Oh,
Dip.
Fun Dip. There
Yeah.
you go. Fun Dip.
My hype goes to Batman Arkham Knight because I was not expecting to be as excited about this game as I am, but this has been a game that I've been thinking about playing when I'm not playing it. And that doesn't happen to me very often anymore. Like, I thought Witcher 3 would do that, and I am excited to play The Witcher again, but, like, right now I am, like...
Witcher 3 is
so...
not addictive. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
addictive
not.
Well, it
because
is.
they fumbled on the meta.
Well, no, it is.
To an extent. Like, I think it's one of those games that when you're playing it, it's fun.
great.
But as soon as you set it down,
Yeah.
the drive to play it kind of disappears.
It's not addictive.
I mean, I love the game.
Yeah, I stopped playing it, and I, like, for a week, I listened to you guys talk about it, and I was like, oh, yeah, I should play that. And then I just, like, watch TV or something.
Yeah.
Like...
A lot of that is because the game, you just know the game is so massive, too.
Well,
it's like,
it's just like, I'm not going to get anything done. Like...
But I am looking forward to going back to The Witcher, but, you know, Batman, man. Fucking
Dude.
so good.
Dickhole.
I was not expecting to like it this much, and I am just thrilled. My second hype / sweat, I am officially looking for. I am in the market to buy a home, have my own place, my own fucking.
That must be scary.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
Dude, Fallout
the
4.
AC broke. Let's call the landlord. Oh shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
It's scary.
Was it the thing with my
It is
new
scary.
place? Is I was reading the lease and they're like, yeah, every maintenance call is a $65 fee, and I was like, I guess I'm a handyman now.
Yeah, it's like I'll be doing a lot of my own shit now. So that's exciting, but you know, I'm excited to have like a dedicated like room for like because my apartment right now is kind of like
It's a
one
little
big
smaller,
space
yeah.
and it's smaller, so that's kind of cool. What did I miss? My thank you of the week. Who do I feel like thanking? Thank you Rocksteady for like not compromising the vision of your game. For like Arkham Knight is literally, I think I said this earlier in the show, but like it feels like a game that like they had so many ideas and they were like, this is our last chance. We're doing all of them.
Those guys at WB Montreal must feel like real assholes.
Well, honestly, like I feel like this game
Don't be
maybe even
rude.
justifies the existence of
Just
Origins because it's hard to imagine like they could have been. I would imagine Warner Bros. Was like, can you make Arkham Knight in 2 years? And they were like, fuck no, based on what we want to do. And they were like, okay,
They
you
were
take all
like,
the time in the world you need.
What's Arkham Knight?
Let's do Arkham Origins in the meantime. And they were like, whatever. Like, that's cool. I'm glad that they took it there. It seems to me like they were like, we're going to make the best possible Batman game we possibly can. And they just shot for the stars. And that's really cool. I'm really enjoying it.
Nice.
And that, guys, is our show. That's it.
Yeah,
Man, I missed podcasting, guys. It's been like 3 weeks.
it has been.
It's been like 3 weeks.
Sometimes you just want to get it out, you know, and you can't.
Just get out with your boys and podcast.
Yeah, the boys are back in town, right?
Boys are back in town.
All right. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put a kibosh on that before it gets out of hand. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. 4playernetwork.com is the website. Please check us out. And like I said, in coming weeks, going forward, as we're talking about all these big games, especially this year, there's a lot of big games coming out. We're going to be starting official forum threads, and they'll be featured on the front page of 4playernetwork.com. If you are playing that game, you have some opinions, and you want us to hear, and you want to maybe help steer our conversation on the podcast, go leave your opinions there. I'll comb through them before the show. I'm sure we'll talk more about Batman next week, and I think we're gonna be starting a Her Story thread tonight, possibly. So if we talk more about that, we'll look through that. Guys, don't do that. What are you doing?
Just end it.
Kill it.
Just kill me now.
And now,
End my
sexual
suffering.
attachment and
Wait,
imprinting
guys,
dinosaurs.
What does he have to say? I saw Sarah's butt today. Hey, that's inappropriate. She's like your daughter. No, she's Geralt's daughter. Why does she talk like a southern
Oh
lady?
my god!
All right, let's end this.
Warning,
Bye.
this
Brad's
book
southern
contains
penis.
What the
description-
fuck?
His southern belle of a penis.
Fuck all of you! Oh my god!